What's up, YouTube? It's your boy Danny O. Let's go! And welcome to the first episode to our new channel where we'll be bringing you fresh ideas on new sets of cards rolling out this set 6. Possible meta changes, deck ideas, and cards we're feeling that are going to be seasoned just right or flat out bland with no salt. Blah. Today I'm joined by my very good friends, testing partners, and co-hosts for the day. You've seen him at multiple DLCs. He's the top 132 contender. Give it up for Eddie Suddenchill.
What's up, guys?
Next, he's a 3-time Day 2 DLC contender. He has his own YouTube channel. It'll be linked at the bottom of the video. You know him as 24K Hector.
What up, guys? 24K Hector here. Make sure you guys like, subscribe to my other channel as well.
Next up, he's a 3-time Set 4 champ. He's a 2-time Set 5 champ winner. Give it up for Ethan Emperor Chimp.
What up, boys? How's it going?
All right, guys. He's only been to 2 DLCs. He's already a Day 2 DLC contender. Give it up for James CardinalYOLO.
Yo.
And last but not least, you've seen him at multiple DLCs. He is a top 8 Golden Serial Mickey winner. Give it up for my boy, Cesar Zetnus.
What's up, guys?
And without further ado, welcome to the Lorcana Cookout.
Cookout.
Let's go.
Woo! Let's go. What's up, guys? What's up? So, today, I think we want to start off with maybe some cards that we've seen throughout the meta. The set 6 that's rolling out that maybe stand out a little bit and we think might have that spice in there, but we're going to go ahead and look into those and see how it is. Thinking we'll start in Amethyst, right?
Yeah, we're starting Amethyst.
How do you guys feel about the new Genie? It's a 4-drop uninkable, I think.
Who wants to go first?
I mean,
I'll start it off real quick.
Yeah, go ahead.
I mean, I haven't played too much purple throughout all the sets, but I mean, just dealing against purple, purple red being one of my nemesis, as I call it. A 2/4 stat line that lures for 2 and also draws a card while being evasive. I mean, if we just go back and think about the mini days, the 1/3 evasive inkable, I mean, it's basically that, but better, right? I mean, and a better health stat line. So now, before, when I used to play blue steel against that deck, I would put in smash just to kill it or banish it. I mean, that doesn't even take this out. I mean, the only thing we got now is brawl that trades with this thing nice, but I mean, this card is gonna be a menace, I think.
Yeah, I'll say the biggest thing is this card will stick. 2/4 evasive is it's a hard out. It's a hard. Not many things can take it out right away.
Yeah.
And I think people are gonna have to put more evasives to kind of deal with it because all these evasive characters are gonna be a problem.
Yeah, honestly, though, even if it doesn't stick, it demands an answer. So I think it's crazy that no matter what's going to demand all the time, and it replaced itself. So the opponent, the one that played the Genie, didn't even neg necessarily. But I also think it's going to single-handedly change the way purple reds mirrors are played, which is going to come down to it's going to be like the Genies, right? How it was with the mini. So I could only imagine how it's going to be now with the Genies. It's going to be crazy. I think it's a really, really good, strong card.
Yeah, I think so too. It's coming out the turn after brawl, so if you're going first, they have to brawl something. This comes out, and then they have to worry about this. It does out the Diablo. It does come out turn 4, which is 2 turns after possibly Diablo, but still it isn't out. It's a really solid card. I think this might be pretty spiced, and we're gonna see. Right now, I think it's going for what? I think $12 foil on TCG. So I think people are seeing the hype right now, and it's gonna take off a little bit. I think we're gonna go into our next card though.
Right? I do want to mention something about this card real quick. I mean, real quick, everyone can say, do we think this is gonna replace Rabbit? I don't think so, but I do think it is gonna either, help out the decks, or in the aggro version of it, it will, and those decks it might replace it, but I don't think this card is just gonna fully kick out Rabbit out of the format.
Just
I
depends
think-
on the
I
build,
think it-
right?
Yeah.
Oh, sorry.
Oh,
I
go
think it
ahead.
replaces. I think it's gonna replace some copies of Rabbit, and like Caesar mentioned, it's going to shift some of the ratios. So like in green purple right now, I think
Yeah.
you'd prefer to play 4, and then possibly like 2 rabbits, or even 4. It just depends on like what your ratios are.
Yeah, I feel like if you're gonna go
Yeah.
more low to the ground, then yeah, definitely it's gonna replace it. But if you're still gonna be kind of like half and half mid range, a little bit more on the control side, then I still think the rabbits are gonna be in there. So
That's fair. That's fair.
Yeah,
True.
I
I
agree
mean, but
with
people
that.
Alright.
can always test it. But yeah, let's go on to the next one.
Yeah. Next card, right? What? It's Diablo, the new 1-drop.
Yeah.
Amethyst. Sheesh. Another amethyst.
So who's
What do you
been
guys
testing
feeling
this
on
card
this?
a lot? Can talk about
Yeah,
it.
who's been testing it?
I tested it a little bit last night in green purple. I think this card is specifically just very good in green purple, like decks that you don't care about your characters dying, and that you can play multiple crabs in, like multiple Merlin crab. I don't think this has a place in the current like RP standard deck because its 0 power is not good. Even though it dies, it just doesn't trade well, and you need to be able to.
This is true. This is true. Were you running the shift Diablo with this 1-drop also, just to have the shift line?
I am not currently in green purple. I only have 4 actions, and those are just 4 friends on the other side. So it's just
Okay,
not
yeah,
worth it
that's
to
fine.
run the unequal spots because I have Genie
Yeah.
and Rapid in those spots.
Yep. There we go. You're doing like a 2-2 split, or like a
For which?
the
For
rabbit.
Diablo?
The rabbit.
Oh no, I'm running 4 Genies, 2 Rabbits currently.
Okay, that's all. Solid. But yeah, Diablo seems pretty nice. I think it's going to be out there. You're going to see it everywhere, especially in the green purple. I think the next card that we're going to come up to, White Rose. What do you guys think about it?
I personally I like White Rose a lot. I think so. I think there's definitely a build now. The whole like thievery, and then there's the pirate's life in purple red, and they got the super goof, right? And now you start adding 4 goats, 4 white roses. Like that deck is just all gas, was still able to challenge and be able to like, oh my god. I think I would definitely want to work on a build with like 4 white roses, 4 goats, and then like goofies and stuff like that. And it's actually very still proactive and reactive deck. I think it's really strong. I think does like we can go to 3, does they replace goat, right? The same thing that we said. I still like goat better, but I think like it's an addition to it. I wouldn't put White Rose. It's weird for me, even though it's a 1 cost less. I wouldn't put White Rose if I don't have 4 goats already. For me, it would be if it's a 5th, a 6th, a 7th copy. That's how I feel about White Rose. I don't know what you guys' thoughts are.
Yeah, I agree on that one too. I think this one is not the same like concept as the Genie. I don't think this is a talk about is it gonna replace Goat. I think this is just is it gonna be more copies of the Goat. And I think this card is definitely gonna see play in that red purple burn deck, and then the purple amber or the amethyst amber aggro deck.
Purple yellow.
Yeah, I mean at this point we're putting this card in. I think they already had 20 unconditional lore. I think now with this card, I mean, it's putting them to 24 unconditional lore, I believe, that they can do it. I mean, if you want to talk about that 1-drop amber card that gives a lore, then there's more too. But yeah, we're getting to the point where burn is just kind of getting scary, and we're not having that much healing per se in this deck. So it's going to start getting scary.
Yeah,
The 3/3 stat line is also really good.
Yeah,
It's kind of
100%.
underrated. Yeah, dodges a lot of removal.
Yeah, it has a very
just
it
across
has a
the
very good
board,
body.
inkable. Yeah,
But
Yeah,
pretty great. Pretty great.
yeah. I don't think it fits every purple deck, but it does fit those decks that want to be more, unconditional gain lore, more aggressive. Um, yeah, that definitely slots in there.
All right. Do you guys feel that there's going to be a spicy card, or do you think it's going to be some blandness?
I mean, I feel like it's gonna be blah, but I mean, it is gonna see play.
Yeah. I wouldn't even say it's spicy. Like if I see a list like, oh, they played 2 white roses and 4 goats. Okay.
Yeah.
Like nothing will surprise me if white roses is in it or if it's not in. Like
Yeah. I mean, if we want
card.
to talk about a little bit of spicy, I would say the next card's a little spicy.
Oh, what's the next card?
Yeah, we got Yzma.
4-drop Yzma, 3/3 stat line, which is very, very great, right? And the ability where you're able to tap it fewer than 3 cards in your hand, draw until you have 3 cards in your hand,
Yeah.
discard around. I'm not a purple player, but I think this really hurts the green still into the meta.
I do.
What do you guys think?
Yeah, so I mean, recently picking up green steel, I do feel like if purple red starts playing this card, um, 1 3 3. I mean, even for steel, it's not gonna be that easy to remove. So I mean, if this gets to stick and I discard your whole hand and you activate this, I mean, getting rid of 3 cards can be a pain. So, do I think this card's gonna be a 4 of staple in every deck? No, I don't think so at all. But that's why I said it's gonna be spicy. I wouldn't look at someone crazy if they do drop this card and play it in certain decks. I mean, another deck that can be really good in, I think, is Amethyst Steel. Haven't really played that deck either, but I do see this. I mean, we're running docks in that deck, right? So I mean, this is kind of like a dock in a sense. So
Hmm. I mean, talking about Doc, it definitely slides in well with a purple steel Doc deck. Um, it's a card that you have to deal with when you see it, because decks will be designed to, like, if a deck is playing this card, they're designed to be playing a more empty their hand strategy, and if you don't deal with this right away, they're gonna get that value. And it's an interesting card. It definitely fits an aggressive like purple strategy. But yeah, this one's the one that I don't think if it fits every deck. It just fits a very specific deck. Definitely good in like aggressive decks like purple yellow. It's another draw engine. It's a legendary that says draw, has potential market value. It's an interesting card for sure.
Cool.
anyone else got anything on this card?
I think it's slow.
You think it's slow?
I
Yeah,
think it's
there's
really
4.
slow. That's my issue with that card. I think it's really slow. Uh, I think in purple steel it can be really good because has other copies of like the dock. Like it goes like kind of like on curve like that. Like, oh, Yzma comes out right when I have no hand. Like with the purple steel, that at least we've been doing like just boom, boom, boom. I have no hand. Yzma comes down. You don't answer it. I draw another 3 and refuel. So it's like another extra copies of dock, but. It's still gonna be rough. That dock is gonna draw Yzma. You hoping they don't answer it right. So, but I mean, it's a good card.
Yeah,
It's a good
definitely.
effect if it resolves.
Yeah, definitely think it's
Oh,
decent. I mean, at what point do we feel like it's not getting value? I feel like even if it's drawing 1 card, I mean, I don't think it's gonna be. Obviously, it doesn't feel great, but I feel like even if it's drawing 1 card at that point, it's not bad. Let's say 1 card a turn. I
I
mean,
think it's just
obviously,
the
yeah.
cap effect.
obviously, I
Yeah,
think we
yeah,
want it to draw 3, but even if it's drawing, let's just say in its worst scenario, it's drawing 1 per turn. Like, I don't think that's bad.
or not even the 1 per turn. Say you're like, well, I have a full hand. Let me just swing for 2 and see if they kill this
Yeah,
body.
yeah, that too. I mean, it does have the 2 lore, which is, I mean, as we
Yeah.
know,
Yeah,
one and 2
yeah,
lore
it's just
difference is
a
a.
decent body. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Alrighty.
All right. I think we're gonna move on to a different color now.
Yeah, I think we're going into Emerald.
My
so-
favorite color. We have the green steel guy in the chat also, Mr. Zetnus.
So I'm not green steel, bro.
The green steel guy.
It is the green guy
The
Zetnus.
new green
green
steel
guy.
guy Zetnus, top 8
All of a sudden.
DLC
You want
Seattle.
to start with this one, Danny, or have you
I'm
played?
not a
Have you played with this
fan.
card at all? Or
I threw it in there because my teammate told me to throw it in there, see how it works. I'm not a fan. I do like it with the Ursula because it does draw 2 cards if I pop it off, and I see it as just stopping aggro. But at the end of the day, green still already plummets on aggro as long as we just look for our removal. So I'm not a big fan of this one just yet.
for me, I mean, apparently I'm the green guy now, but I would see it more as a blue sense. Like for blue green, I think this is gonna activate that deck a lot. Do I think that deck's gonna be like tier 1? No, but I think this deck. I mean, this card does help out the weaknesses that were in that deck, which is to slow down a bunch of like the
Yeah.
aggro decks.
That's why I hit.
Can it be good in green steel? I mean, depends. If green steel starts putting more 2 drops in there, then I do think this is another like sing card in it for those 2 drops. But I mean, I feel like this card's gonna be good in green in general, just good for the green color in general. But do I think it's gonna be an evergreen color? I don't think so. But I think it's a decent card.
Yeah, for sure. I think
Anyone
the next
else?
card is one that
No, we're good. All right, we got the next one is another spicy card. So we got bend to my will.
I hate discard cards, man. Anything that's a discard in there is stupid.
I was waiting for
So dumb.
I was waiting
dumb.
for him to say
Just
something
another
'cause I knew he was
stupid
gonna say
discard
something.
card. It is just another stupid discard card.
Why is that card printed?
But like
I-
in theory, in like all reality, right? The only way you're gonna see this card is if you're going against green blue.
yeah.
You're gonna see
Yeah.
a Baja Blast with this,
I
and
say
you're like,
I say green blue or green steel deck that's probably running Holy World. It'll be very niche, but like casting Holy World and then casting this after, like your opponent's gonna feel so bad. Do I think that's gonna be good? I mean, we'll have to see. But I did play test against someone that did it against me, and I was like, I knew it was coming. Like I figured that's what they were doing, and they wheeled and then they casted it after. I'm like, dude, what am I gonna do now? Like, so if it goes off, it's gonna be threatening, but is it gonna be reliable and is it gonna be good? I don't know. In green blue, I mean, this was one of the decks I freaking put like 30 games in right off the bat, and I mean, feels good in green blue. I was not a fan of it at first. I was trying to build green blue without it, but just switching to a style. I think I forgot the guy's name. Uh, Coffin, I think's his name. That made the green blue list. I switched to his list, and I usually tweak after I test it for a while. But yeah, ramp to bend and then just discard. I think in his deck he's running the 7-drop, or is it 7-drop Clarabelle, the legendary Clarabelle from last set, and then discard.
okay,
I kind of found it counterintuitive, but it's true. Like you ramp, empty out your hand, and then drop the Clarabelle to keep up with their hand, and then that's when you draw the bend, and then that's when you cast bend. Um,
The f-
so
you
yeah,
guys
it's pretty
heard it.
it's
You
pretty
guys
dumb.
heard it here first. You guys heard it here first. Caesar net decks.
Yeah, 100%. I do. I'm not a deck builder, bro. I net deck and then I swap out a few cards that are not for my playstyle. So, but
No, but it does seem it does seem correct, like the way how you're saying, like Clarabelle, boom, this, boom, like go.
yeah.
Yeah, it's the
So
value.
it's
one thing I
another. Yeah, go ahead.
one thing I am gonna say about this card is that if it becomes more, if it's actually playable, this is gonna be the most toxic card in the game. So
Yes, I agree. If blue green is meta, that's a problem. Because if blue green is meta, that guys know why, which means that's what the game turned to. So it's gonna suck. I think another like blue green is now another discard deck added into the meta
yeah,
too. Also, if you're playing mid range and control, so you're playing a mid range deck and control, and then they start with like Inca green card play, like a blue card or whatever. You start sweating a little bit because you know it's gonna go down, like
yeah.
it could
At some
possibly
at,
go
at
down.
some point, your hand's gonna be gone. So yeah,
Yeah,
pretty
that's why I
rough.
think a lot of people are going to stick too low to the ground early in the format too.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's always like that every set. People want to play aggressive.
Yeah,
Just be,
Yeah, that's what it is. It
the
punishes.
safe is the safest way to go early,
Yeah,
right?
yeah,
Early
because it
round.
punishes everyone trying to do greedy stuff. So
Yep,
we'll see if it actually sticks around the meta this time. I mean,
yep.
purple yellow is sticking around in small numbers because it what happens is aggro is best when people are not expecting it because you just catch people off guard.
Yes.
So
Yep.
so we'll go on to the next card. We spent a while on this one. We got Go.
Go Tomago. For a green steel player, I don't see it in the green steel control version. I see it more popping into the green purple list because as a green steel player, I don't. All my dudes swing for 1 attack, 2 attack. What I have a beast that swings for 3, so at most I'm getting out there is like a 3. And if I'm shooting something with one of my spells, I'm killing it. I don't want that thing to live.
Yeah, I think this one slots really well into green purple. I haven't quite figured out the ratios yet, but it is inkable, so that is a big part of it. And then also, like Danny mentioned, you have a lot of characters like Goat that just trade really well. Like you could just throw a 4 power into an exerted Tamatoa or whatever it may be. If your opponent leaves it up, you put damage on it. It's just a free lore gain, and it's really cheap. It only costs 4. And then also it forces your opponent to change their playstyle. So maybe they don't freely quest, and you don't actually have it, but you can play that buff or the bluff that you do have it. So
no, yeah, like this card really shines when you have 4 strength character cards. You're playing against, steel players with bodyguards. They feel safe with a big Chimpo or a Pluto, and then you smack into it and gain 4 lore. Just huge momentum shift in the race. I definitely like this in green purple. In almost any green deck, you can argue has a slot as long as you have a 4 strength character in it to kind of get that ultra value. Um, I like it. It's evasive. It can deal with, early evasive threats like a Diablo. Um, yeah, it has a lot of good things. It doesn't. It's a weird card because it doesn't. You don't really build your deck around it. You kind of just put it in there because it's just value. If it hits, it hits. But it's an interesting card for sure. One that I think still needs to be figured out for its optimal build. But it does have the the kind of busted potential like just built into it.
Before we go on, by the way, I think it capitalizes against red decks because a lot of people, like, let's say they're used to like Maui trade, right? Oh, I have a Maui down. Boom, here it is. All right, well, here it is. Here, game 4 lore. Like, play this game 4 lore. Like, oh my gosh, it's a good card. It's a good
Yeah.
card. It makes me want to play purple green, and it's a reason I'm considering it as one of my decks for sure in the tournament.
Yeah, so green steel, I mean, I do find it very hard time fitting in that deck because one, we basically go super slow until the discard. I mean, your hand's gone. So I mean, the way I play green steel or the way I played it, I wouldn't care too much about the board. Obviously, I'll get rid of the big threats, but I worry more about the hand. So once I get rid of the hand, then I worry about what's on the board. So I mean, if we're still playing it that way, then go. I mean, I don't really see them ever. I mean, green, you just control the hand and then you control the board to where there's nothing left. So it's kind of hard to see this card in there. Green, purple, definitely can see it in there, but I mean, like every other content creator, anyone, all the good players are saying, like, this deck is broken or good because, like, once you start seeing it in the meta, like, we're gonna have to stop or at least be mindful of when we're trying to take a good trade, right? Because that's all we're trying to do. I mean, it's what we try to do, value trade. So, like we said with the Maui, you bring it down. We don't try to take trades with the Maui that's gonna kill it. We try to take trades with the Maui that's gonna leave it alive and take something else out. So, I mean, if this card's in the meta, then I mean that at that point that's gonna be not as neg for them anymore. Like it's gonna be like, all right, should I just let my Maui die or should I leave it up? Because that could be potentially for lore. And I mean, at the end of the day,
Yep.
we also got to think about it again. Like, at what point is this bad? We pay 4 and gain 2 lore with its first activation. Is that really that bad? I mean, looking at other cards, right? We have
Yeah.
the six
No,
cost
more.
Pirate's Life. It gains 2. I mean, they lose 2, but I mean, it's a 2 cost difference. We're not gaining the 2. I feel like as long as
Trying to
this
get
is
a body.
gaining, I feel like as long as this is gaining 2 lore or more every time, I feel like that's decent. Obviously, if it
I
starts
think
gaining
this is
4 or 5, it's crazy, but
I think this is a more broken white rose.
yeah,
Ooh,
I would say so.
ooh. Pretty good. Pretty good. All
Evasive
right.
too. Evasive.
That is evasive.
Yeah,
Yes.
and we can't mind the fact that it's evasive. Technically an answer to Diablo if we really want to. I mean, it could get stormed and whatever the other card is, but it is evasive. It's a 2 drop. We could drop on 2 to contest the Diablo if really
Right.
necessary.
That's the thing I was gonna say that we didn't talk about. Like the fact that we can drop this on 2 and it's not bad.
Yeah, yeah, they have to
So-
audit. I mean, they have to audit, which they
Uh,
usually always have. But I mean, if they don't, then that pauses their Diablo turning sideways for a while. And if we trade this into a Diablo, I'm gonna tell you right now, if I play Diablo and it dies to this, I'm gonna be upset. So, like, yeah,
but the next card is one that on green that I don't know. I don't know what people are seeing in this, but we're gonna talk about this right now.
we got Daisy Duck, right?
This is Daisy Duck. So 3/3 for 4. So it's an Yzma, right? Swings for 2 also. Whenever one of your pirate characters quests while at a location, draw a card.
So I put this card in here. I want to talk about it because I do feel like if there is gonna be a pirate deck going around or a location deck, it's gonna be with this girl. Like this is the value. This is the card draw for those decks. So obviously with another card coming up that we're gonna talk about, the Sugar Rush is another location that's drawing. But I feel like if we are seeing pirate synergy, location synergy, like she's gonna be a staple in there. So also not bad body comes out in 4, not bad quest for 2, and then every time, I mean, this character could get you to draw 2, 3 cards a turn. I mean, if really possible, but I mean, we'll just have to see how the meta shapes out.
I think it's gonna be a little bland. The fact that it has to be a pirate and it has to be at a location. I just feel it's gonna fall flat. But if someone does the deck and proves it wrong, so be it. But the fact that it requires those two things, that would mean you would have to have a full pirate deck.
Yeah.
But that's on me.
Your whole kitchen has to be pirate themed.
Yeah, you have to just be like, oh, pirate. Oh, let me throw this pirate in, and this pirate in. And
I mean,
have
at
to
that
move
point,
these
does it really? Like,
It's
I
good.
feel like
It's good deck.
Yeah,
does it really have to be?
It's solid.
Yeah. To be fair, if there's anything that's gonna be themed fully and it's competitive, it is gonna be pirates now.
Yeah.
To be fair.
I
So,
just,
Yeah. But
I don't feel
yeah.
like your whole deck has to be pirates. I mean, I just feel like if it's a majority of it, then that's good enough. But I mean, it does. I agree with you guys that it is asking for two big restrictions, which is pirates and locations. So
I just like that it is in green. So you do have like the card, I will find my way, that you only have to pay one to move someone to a location for free. And you have the pod now,
Yeah.
so that you can have that synergy to like, hey, if I just, as long as I get this dude out, I'm moving to a location for free with one of these two cards. So it does help a lot. I just think it's just gonna be too much. It's gonna be too many combos to try to pop off.
well, I
You
think the
also have
card's good,
the
but we'll see where it plays out. Go ahead, James.
Yeah,
you also have the Jolly Roger.
Yep.
The Pirates moved there for free, so
green
you are.
red.
Yeah,
The
yep,
pirates.
green red. Yeah,
And green
I think
red.
green red
Christmas
will be
light.
solid. You
Christmas
have
But
light.
before we move on, or anyone say something, I did have to say something because this is a funny thing. Sealed was yesterday or whatever, and I literally had a bunch of pirates, and I had like the worst pulls or whatever, and I had the one daisy, and I'm like, oh my gosh, this is broken, and this is gonna be my way. And then I realized that it had to be the location thing. So the whole sealed event, I had 0 locations in my deck with a daisy and a bunch of pirates, and I was like, oh my gosh, this is automatic ink every time.
Card game
That's-
players can't read, bro. Happens all
Yeah.
the time.
I was thinking
Yo,
so bad.
the go
Read.
for the longest time, I thought it said gain lore equal to the damaged character, not gain lore equal to the amount of damage on there. Like I was reading that shit wrong for so long.
Yeah.
All
Yeah,
right,
reading cards is important.
still in green,
Still
because
agree.
green was been topping pretty good lately, and it's just they're still getting ammunition that helps.
Yeah.
So what we got, Mr. Basil?
Yep, Basil.
How are we?
Guess what? Guess what?
Basil.
It's another stupid green discard card. That's another card on green that says discard.
So he gets added to the shift line, so he's there alongside Tinkerbell, shift on 4, and then on his ability where it's during your turn, whenever you put a card into your inkwell, you're able to pay one more to have a chosen opponent choose and discard a card. Dude, what more can you ask for? Do I personally like it? All right, it's how I felt. It comes, if it doesn't, it doesn't. I think this and Baja Blast, though, even though I don't play Baja Blast, might just work.
What we got, James? What you think about this card? I know you had some wacky ideas that I was shutting down constantly.
Let me hear it.
We're
Let me hear it.
we're still gonna test it out, but you're gonna play this in blue green. I think it's gonna be the strongest in there. I think green still is already established. You'd have to change the whole deck if you want to fit it in there. I mean, they put the blue small Basil in there for a reason. You know, they're giving us the pieces to the puzzle. We just got to put it together.
Oh.
I think you definitely play this blue green. Like I said, you shift it. My wacky idea is a friend like me. You know, and you've seen those get sold out if you've been paying attention to the market. I think there was like 100 copies of foils that were bought. So I think not everybody, but I think a lot of people are having the same idea. The idea is you shift it. You don't sing it on that same turn because you want to be able to pay ink costs. But you can sing other songs on there. So you have what is it?
So how does it
Let It
work, though?
Go.
How does a friend like me work?
A friend like me, it's 5 costs, inkable, and it says you and your opponent both put the top 3 cards of your deck into the inkwell exerted.
Okay.
So
So you're
obviously,
using Basil to sing it. Oh.
yeah. So you're gonna do it on the next turn. You're gonna use it on the next turn. So
Yeah.
and he's a 4/5, so he's not easy to get rid of. You know, he doesn't do the classic dies of Medusa. So you should be good.
Forget about this nice card called Ice Block.
Yeah.
But still, you
I'm
would
kidding.
shift sing. You shift sing, no? So you pop it, shift sing.
That'd be terrible because you don't have enough
Because
ink
you
to activate it.
you don't have
Oh,
enough
no,
ink
right.
to
Yeah,
do it.
you're pay
So,
the ones. Pay the ones.
but if there's a threat, you can sing "Let It Go." You also have that as an option. Or we don't talk about Bruno. So there are other songs, to deal with any potential threats. But if it survives, which it should, um, you can also play the new Alice before you shift it.
The
So you
ward.
Protect
quest,
it.
yeah, it has ward itself. You
Yep.
quest, give it lore and ward, so it can't be pinged off. So the next turn you're gonna have it sing "Friend Like Me." That puts 3 ink in, um, and then depending on your board state, you should have enough ink. There by that time they should have no hand
Yep.
after that,
This is right. This is true.
because it's if you read the card, it says what is it, during your turn whenever a card is put in your inkwell. So it's not just one instance.
I
Anyone
like
else
it.
So
got
if
I
any
like
any
it.
if
ideas?
anybody if anybody's
Like,
got that spice, throw it out there. Let's see what we can make.
yeah. I
Anyone
like
else
it.
got
I
anything
like
on
it.
this card before I completely shut down James right now? You got anything,
I mean,
Hector?
I think that. Yeah, Hector.
No. Eddie?
Nope. I think I don't want to give more Discord ideas out there. I think this card's whatever.
Eddie, you
Let's
got
just
anything?
stop discarding.
No, I mean, I do believe this still fits like traditional green still.
Yeah.
Um, like,
Hmm,
I don't agree with James that it's not
interesting.
doesn't fit that deck. And definitely blue green is obvious, but I think in green still it's still valid because it's a shift 4, and if you have just consistent ways to discard your opponent just by playing ink, you're gonna ink something every turn. It
That's
just makes that deck more
Yeah.
consistent.
Yeah. So the way I see it, I'll start off with green blue first with this card. The friend like me to me is just really bad. Um, couple reasons. I mean, obviously in theory it sounds cracked, but for a couple reasons, it's just like you're gonna have to wait a turn already to activate it, and then when you do activate it, you're still giving your opponent 3 ink. I mean, if you manage to empty out their hand completely, then I guess at that point it's a little bit irrelevant. But I just think it is gonna be too slow. The reason for that, I don't think this card's gonna be that great in green blue unless like I built it bad, which is a possibility. Like I said, I'm not a good deck builder, but the green blue I was testing was maxing out on this and trying to get them out early, with no bend to my wheels, and it just felt too slow a lot of the time still, even with the ramp. Um, and I just feel like with bent to my wheel, it's just a better avenue. So like I said, with the Clarabelle, you ink up, ink from your hand, and then draw back up with Clarabelle using their resources as from their hand, and then bend to my will, just emptying out their hand quicker than this Basil ever will. It's just I think because the bend to my will line is there, this is not gonna be as good in blue green. As far as green steel, um, I do think this card's gonna be in there. I don't think it's gonna be a 4 of. I think one of the first changes I made to mine was putting this as a 4 of. But with it, obviously the meta kind of seeming like it's gonna be low to the ground at the beginning. Do think we need the tinks. My biggest factor
Yeah.
for this being in there is we're playing morph obviously. So last set for a while I was trying to think of what to cut Tinkerbell for, and there was just not really any other good shift lines. The one I did see was Hercules, which I did see a couple people at Seattle do. But still, like I feel like this is a perfect morph shift line, even dropping it on 7 by itself or 6, and then I just feel like putting this card down and for sure threatening your opponent a constant discard every turn is just gonna be that's what's gonna make it strong. You're never gonna run out of discard. Like they can't be like thinking, does he have discard in his hand? No, because you have discard on field now. So no matter what, you're gonna make them
Solid.
discard 1 per turn. So
Yeah,
Solid. Solid.
I think that's why this is broken.
good argument.
I do think it's gonna be a 2 of at least. Will it be a 4 of? I mean, if we go more control heavy decks meta, then maybe. But if we go more aggro, then I do think this has to be in there like as a 1 or a 2 of. And the main reason I
Solid.
was saying is because I was one of the people that put Lucifer in for Seattle. And I mean, at this point, isn't this kind of like a better Lucifer? Majority of the time, people are playing around Lucifer. You're gonna discard 1 anyways, right? So this is
I
the
do think it is better than
yeah.
Lucifer. Yeah, I
So
think it is
Oh yeah,
better.
of course. Yeah.
so now this is a Lucifer every turn in a sense, because like the good players that are playing around Lucifer um, are most of the time going to hold an action, so you're only going to discard 1. So now we're able to do this every turn with the better body. Like I just see this
Yeah.
as a better Lucifer.
And if a Prince John is developed too, like because Bucky, it was you play a character, it creates a discard, right?
Yeah.
This one, you ink a card, it
You
creates a
create a discard,
discard.
which you're gonna do every
It's
turn.
definitely
Yeah.
strong.
Yeah, you do it
That
once.
in theory of that, it's
Yeah,
strong.
it doesn't have to be
Yeah,
green
and
blue where you're
more
inking
consistent.
twice a turn.
Yeah.
Like just the once a turn is good enough.
Yeah,
This
yeah.
is
It doesn't
true.
have to be in blue. Yeah, you don't have to do it twice. Just once per turn. A discard plus what you already have.
Yeah.
Sing, Suddenchill. That's a draw 3 off John. Like, come on. Now.
Yeah. So we'll see where
But
this
as much
deck
as
plays
I
out,
love
but
green, there are some other colors that got some cards that are kind of wonky, but
Yeah.
seem to have been pulling up the meta into the meta, right? So we're going into what's next?
the one drop Moana.
Oh, this card's good.
Everyone
Go
says
ahead,
this
Hector.
card's good.
Go ahead, Hector.
It's a
Talk
solid
about it, bro.
card.
Talk about it.
It is good.
Solid.
Want to talk about it?
Yeah, talk about it.
Yeah.
Okay. So I think it's really good. So I think you drop it, and I think because I actually pulled 2 on the sealed event, whatever. And it's sealed, whatever it's not. But I'm thinking just a theory of the one drop comparing to a lot of the other one drops. It's one of those we're used to doing the 1/4s that like or 1/3s like, oh, this thing sticks. It just keeps questing forever and ever. It gives that same feeling. Like it's like a 3/2 that you just keep questing and questing and questing. Oh, I can't challenge because I don't have a captain. Okay, then you challenge me. I'll keep questing and questing. It just feels like a one drop evasive. Like literally, that's how it felt. I'm like, okay. And then if, in the builds where don't even get me started in, I agree with the green has like one of the greater pirates, but in Ruby Steel, they were desperately in need of a good one drop. And oh, this lines up so well with them. So like I think this Moana is very strong in Ruby Steel. I think it's an actual solid for like even a purple red 3/2 because it's just like one of those if they will eventually want to swing, you know, like how they do the one drops where you just kind of want to like the Pascal just want to keep questing 1/1/1. It feels like a Pascal in a way in that sense. But in Ruby Steel, you are going to be able to swing with it because you have those captains. I think it's good in those 2 decks. Anything else, I probably wouldn't.
I honestly don't think it's good, but that's just me because it has to be a captain. So it's making you again say, "Hey, it's gonna die to steel." But I have to have this character in here.
You definitely don't drop it against.
Yeah.
If you play against steel, it becomes ink, right? It's just like, oh look, ink.
Yeah, it's definitely not as great as in Steel, but I agree with Hector everything he said. I don't think this is a challenging card. I think this is a questing card. Like, because once again, we go back to what we're talking about. Like, if the way to get like do good things in this game is to value trade, and there's no good value trading against this card. So when we finally do decide to take it out, if we want a good trade, it's probably not going to be till like turn 4 or 5. So, I mean, at that point, it's already getting 3-4 lore. I mean, it's basically, like you said, a Pascal. Like, it has evasive at that point because if we want to trade to this early, we're probably going to lose our character. So, at that point, it's we're not playing 2-1s in this meta. I don't think so. So, I mean, that's the only thing that will get a good trade into this, basically. So, I mean, we're going to have to trade a 2 cost into this or a 3 cost into this. Or, I mean, if we're in Steel, then, like I said, we get lucky and we kill it with the 2 damage spell, but...
Yeah.
The thing it does have going for it, right? It is a hero, it is a princess, and it's a pirate.
Yeah, that's crazy.
So it can go in a lot of different variety of decks to see what it can synergize with, and then it can also run into the location deck. It can also shift into that old Moana from 2 sets ago, I believe it was.
No, and it got a new shift Moana this set too, so that's not bad either.
So
it's actually solid in the pirates too.
Yeah. So like it does have a lot of things that it can go for it, but
come
on
on,
my
James,
side,
time to bring your spice, bro. Time to build that Amber Ruby Princess deck again, bro. She goes.
Yeah,
in there,
that's
bro.
what I was just gonna say. That's what I was just gonna say. Amber Ruby for sure. It's a good one drop. Obviously, we're talking about the value of the trades. It's gonna be questing. And I'm big on the Wreck-It Ralph Amber 7 drop uninkable. When you play him, you can bring back a character.
If it's a princess,
to your hand. And if it's a princess, you gain 2 lore. So before you had obviously Rapunzel. You had the Moana, which I don't like the Moana too much because she just doesn't have good trades. The one drop that's already damaged when she comes in. This card's a lot better.
The Mulan,
The Mulan, yeah. So I think if you're building Amber Ruby, for sure this is one of your new one drops.
Piglet is a captain.
Yes.
Yeah, Piglet's a
Piglet
captain.
is a
Thank you for
captain.
saying that. I was
Just
holding
saying,
my
throwing
my
it out
tongue.
there. That's why, like, she synergizes so well because all those traits that she has. I don't know if Dreamborn is ever going to become something that's going to be like a character crit, something that's going to be able to build something off of. But just having the hero, princess, pirate,
Yeah, I think
it
it's
helps a lot.
solid one drop. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
All right, let's go on
So
to the next one. Wendy, darling.
okay.
So
I'm a big
You guys are gonna
I'm
have
a
to
big
tell me
fan
what
of
this does again. I can't see it on the screen right now.
So it's a 2-drop uninkable 1/2 evasive character. While you have another pirate character in play, this character gets 1 attack and 1 lore. So in a sense, it can be a conditional 2/2 2 quest evasive.
And he said it's an inkable.
Uninkable, yeah.
Yeah. So you go what? You go Mulan, not Mulan. Why did I say Mulan? Moana and then Wendy Darling.
Yeah. I mean, at that point,
Right,
we're
that's
talking.
basically the
Yeah,
play.
at that point, we're talking again. Same thing with Genie, which obviously Genie's cracked, but goes back to the mini days where we dropped that on 3, and sometimes that ran away with the game. I mean, this is a mini on 2 in a sense in the pirate deck, especially like a 2-drop evasive 2 lore character that can also deal with Diablo. I mean,
It is. Yep.
I
Oh, it's evasive.
yeah, it's evasive. So
Yeah.
it's like I said, it's a conditional mini turn earlier. So I've played a couple games where this card gave me some trouble. Just coming out that early with evasive 2 lore. So I mean, we have removal, guys. We have Brawl, we have Medusa, we have all this stuff. But once we get to a point where we have too many things to remove, I mean, we got to start picking and choosing. And if this is evasive, I mean, it could run away with the game. So
Yeah.
Yeah, man.
If you're not playing steel, but
Yeah.
like most players nowadays.
yeah, but right
just
now we're
go
not
for
even
it.
running grab, right? Most steel decks aren't running
Yeah,
grab,
most
so
people
we're
are like,
wasting
yeah.
our let the storm rage on this when we obviously
Yeah.
want to be using it on some other things. So like I
Like,
said, it's just more threats that are coming out sooner when this game doesn't have that good of removal cards. So I mean, if it stays that way, like all these small threats that are requiring our key removal cards to get rid of them, it's gonna get because I mean, you guys see this on board. We're gonna have to remove it, right? So that's one less brawl I have to brawl something else. I guess in red purple brawl a rabbit or a genie now. You know, if I brawl this, then I can't brawl the genie. So
And she's a captain, by the way.
yeah,
So it'll synergize. It'll synergize with that.
One on one drop.
That
This one's
Moana.
two drop.
hero,
Yeah.
pirate, captain.
Yeah, like those two just meant
Yeah.
to go together in any
Yeah,
Yeah, those
rugby
two for
pirate
sure.
I
deck.
think that's it. Yeah.
Moana, Wendy. Yep.
All right, let's go with
All right.
our promo card, our set promo card.
This one
Third.
is uninkable, unlike the promo card.
True. You're right.
Would
This is
be
uninkable.
fire.
If you get the
Yeah,
set,
it is truly uninkable.
yeah,
But if it was inkable, I think this card would be fire.
100%. Yeah.
I think this card is bad. Like straight up just bad.
Is it because it's
Because-
uninkable?
Nope, it's not because it's uninkable. It's because
It's
the
mandatory.
damage effect is mandatory. You
Yeah.
have to damage. Like you can't just do 2 damage to your own character. Extra part out. You actually have to do 2 damage. So if
Should've
there are
been
no
a-
characters on the board, you have to like ping your own character as well.
Yeah.
So
Should have been a 4/3.
Are we talking about the scar?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yes. But see, like what I'm looking at is the horrible thing is that they make, I think, halfway decent cards uninkable, but it's fine. Like, because I think if it was inkable, it would be nuts. Because I would go what Prince John. I mean, not Prince John. Prince Eric. If I'm playing red, right? Let's just go Prince Eric turn 4. Turn 5, I swing with my Prince Eric, play the Scar, kill my Prince Eric, kill one of your guys, or steal 2 damage.
Possibly 2.
Steal,
Possibly 2
steal
guys.
2 damage to 2. Yeah, 2 something. Maybe kill a dude and then pop another guy. It's the synergy is there. It's just, man, they're making the cards uninkable and it just in red entirely, and it just feels
like
And this
you're
will-
saying, that combo sounds great, but that's 2 uninkable cards back to back, which just
Yeah.
feel really bad.
yeah.
Yeah, the scar with the teeth and ambitions built into it. Yeah, I agree. I don't think it's in every deck. Maybe it has a place in the red faucet deck.
Yeah, that's
But
about it.
yeah.
I
But
think Also, and other than the remember with the heel Rapunzel, I think there's a build which people they thought Super Goof was bad in Purple Red and were unheard of, right? But when you start branching out, I think there is a build. You have to have the room and ability for it, but if you have to go like 4 of these scars, 4 Hydras, 4 Purple Bell,
Yeah.
Yeah,
there,
that could
there's
work. Yeah.
that's scary. Like
Yeah.
those three work together so well, and then you have Teeth of Ambitions, the 2-drop song, whatever. But the 4 of the Bell move damage, and then you have Hydra, and then you have a Scar. That's good. But you have to build a deck around those 3 cards after that.
Yeah, that is true. Yep. So what do you guys think about this one though? You guys think this is gonna be like spice or just black?
That's Spice. I think
That's
if you
Spice, yeah.
Scar and you're doing good, Spice.
Yeah, Spice.
I don't think it's gonna see play.
Yeah, I don't think it's gonna see
That's fair.
that much play.
No,
I mean
I don't think so.
the mandatory one, the uninkable is big. I'm big on what Danny said. Um, like they're making these cards that are so close from being good, not even broken, good, great, I guess even, and they slapped that uninkable on it, and I feel like it basically just kills it. So I mean the fact that the effect is mandatory again, like dude, getting this off the top, you can't even play it. Like you're gonna kill it. I mean, you can if there's something on their board to take out too, but like it's gonna kill itself. So, I mean that's not only did they make it uninkable, they also made it mandatory where it kills itself. So that's pretty. I don't know why they did that. To me, it's crazy. But
It's a 4-drop.
5-drop.
It is 5-drop. So it's like it takes
5-drop.
up a whole bunch of your other 5-drop slots that like I would rather play something else.
Yeah.
Yeah. But that takes us to another card, right? In red that we're probably
Here-
gonna be playing everywhere.
My
The
boy.
shark.
Right?
Yeah,
The
half
Maui
shark, baby.
half shark, a 7/5 evasive. Whenever this character challenges another character, you may return an action card from your discard to your hand. Whenever you play an action, gain 1 lore. I'm not a red player, but I like this card. I
Yeah,
like
the
it.
7 strength is filthy. It's a
Yes.
hard out.
7 strength, evasive,
5 willpower.
5 willpower. Like just that alone is pretty crazy.
Yes.
And it's inkable.
Yeah, and it's
And it's
equal,
equal.
yeah.
Yeah. So even you have like the Maui line, right? Like turn 5 Maui, turn 6 Maui, and it's just it helps so much. Oh, they discarded my be prepared on turn 2 with their Ursula. Sure, next turn I'm gonna swing with this Maui and grab my be prepared back and hold on to it.
Yeah. I think this card is super good. I think it could see play in almost every color, to be honest.
Yeah.
Is it gonna be in every color? I can't say that for sure, but I do think it can see play in purple red. I do think if green red's a thing, it's gonna see play in there. I do think it's gonna be in blue red. What other red colors we got? Red steel, even with the damaging spells we got. Put this down, kill something, get back storm, get back all like in steel. This is gonna be cracked too if there's a red steel that's going around that's playing those actions. I just think this card's crazy in general. This is obviously not gonna just slide into red like normal red blue. It is gonna change it up. But dude, I mean, I don't know if we're gonna get that crazy and start putting develops back in, but putting this and then getting back a sale, getting back freaking vision, getting back how far I'll go. Now putting let it go.
Brawl.
I was
You
always
get a-
big on let it goes. Yeah, getting back a brawl, getting back let it go, getting back be prepared for
Pirate's
that.
Life.
Yeah, like this getting back Pirate's Life. Yeah, like this card is gonna change red blue, and I think this card is gonna be the reason why red blue is still gonna be in the meta, even if it's gonna be low to the ground, like a low to the ground meta. So
even not just red blue, right? Like I was just testing some Christmas colors, and I was running the Robin, and so your Robin's discarding stuff into your discard.
yeah, this makes
and then
Robin
you
a
have
lot
the
better.
Maui out. Yeah, you have
This
the
makes
Maui
Robin.
out there, and then your
Yeah.
Maui kills something. Let me grab something that I discarded already with the Robin to use, and the synergy works really well.
Yeah.
I've been liking it.
Yeah,
It's not something I would take to a tournament, but
yeah.
it's fun.
I'm playing a list that blue red that has Robin. I do think other lists are better, but even then, like it doesn't feel that bad. So I
Yeah.
mean, this card is gonna be cracked. I think we could cut down on dines now in blue red because now we're not. I mean, we still play one, but I don't think we need to play two because now this is our other, in a sense, finisher to get us closer to that dime OTK. So
It's crazy.
Yeah,
That's
I mean,
crazy.
because
I,
and
I
the,
also
Crazy.
I
That's
also
crazy.
think that's crazy. By the way,
So the reason,
Don't just run one dime,
no,
guys.
the reason is because now, I mean, you play this and you swing back. We have, in a sense, 5+ visions now. Like we will find our dime unless we ink it. And now we're not playing any cards that ink off the top. So now we know when we ink our dime. The only rough part is that Hideaway exists and Cusco. But I mean, we're just gonna have to be careful. Like at that point, we don't need to play dime early. Like we can get the lore off of this card now. So like I don't think dime is a 12 mandatory anymore. I don't think it's crazy to have one dime now.
This is true. This is true.
I don't know if it's true.
I don't think it's
I'm,
true.
I'm telling you, bro. I've been testing this card a lot. Like the lore this card gains is pretty crazy. Like it will
Yeah,
get
Oh
you
yeah.
2-3
I'll say
lore in a turn.
I'll definitely say something fast before we move on to the next card. I like that it's gonna possibly force Maleficent Dragons into the format, and it can possibly change ratios between the Madame.
Ooh.
Yeah,
And I think that's how it switches the meta game. For
Zeus
example, too,
Zeus
it
is coming back
forces
in.
blue steel. Oh, do I go 3 cannons, or maybe I have to go 2 cannons now, and one along came Zeus
Yeah,
because I have to out this thing. It changes. I don't think the card in of itself, like what it's doing, is so absolutely broken. But the way to out this card, it changes everyone's build. That's what I think.
Dang it, Hector. We're not supposed to give them our strategy on how we're gonna counter all this stuff that's happening. We're just supposed to
dude.
talk
I
about these cards,
I
man.
know we gotta move on, but
Dang
this
it.
card's just cracked, dude. Like it helps
It
red
was
blue deal
bad.
with locations. Like this is not an evasive character that takes out a castle, and it's like we don't even have to worry about losing like getting traded into afterwards trading the castle. Like
You don't have to use the Hercules anymore. That
exactly,
shit
we're playing
card.
that we're playing that
It's an
useless
equal 7/5.
Hercules card. Yeah,
Yeah.
like this to me, this card is not only that, you play this against aggro. I mean, if they're super ahead, obviously they're still gonna go sideways, but like this will also halt a board, not specifically aggro, but like mid range and stuff too. Like they're gonna be so scared of giving you that value that it might stop them from questing. So
Let me
I
see what's
just
in
think
your
this
discard.
I just
Let
think
me
this
see what's
card
in
is
there.
doing a lot for any color it's
Yeah.
in. But we can move on.
But yeah,
I give this
yes.
Yeah,
I give this
Uh,
card almost
where we
a
at?
broken
Where
card.
we at
Yeah.
now? We've gone through amethyst. We've gone through emerald. We've gone through ruby. Dang, we still have steel, amber, and sapphire to go through, huh?
Yeah, we
Oh
we
my
gotta move on.
gosh.
Move it on.
All
Okay.
right, so
let's
let's
speed up.
get through these cards, guys. Let me see what's next.
We
Jim
got
Hawkins.
Jim Hawkins.
Jim
The
Hawk Tua.
stubborn cabin boy. What's up?
Go
I think this
ahead.
goes
Go ahead, Mr. Blue
into
Steel.
yeah.
Okay, I'll just put it this way. Okay, so in blues, I think it definitely just kind of goes in blue steel because a lot of the 2 drops are just better than anything else. Like in purple steel and any other steel variant, you don't want to go with Jim Hawkins. So the reason it's a common, but blue steel is just gonna make it be broken because they're gonna go ahead and play Jim Hawkins, and then it's gonna be on 2, and then on turn 3, it could be the quill, and then you ink. Obviously, you ink to play the quill, and then you quilled. So he's a 4/4. So most of the times he's going to be a 4/4 drop. And then don't even get me started on how we can make him mid to late game a 8/4. So that's kind of how I'm going to go about that. It survives also 4 shield, which we can talk about another card that can possibly make it heal. Our own little fast way to Rapunzel-ish. It's a good card for that target, which is a baymax blue, but we'll talk about that later. But that's kind of the theory that it goes into in the Jim Hawkins. We'll put it straightforward. We don't talk about it a lot, but Ink, he's a 4/4 2 drop. That's all I gotta say
I
about it.
think we gotta talk about the shift line mechanic. I don't know if it's 100% guaranteed, but if you do the shift line five drop on this, it's a static effect, so it will keep that challenger plus. So I think that shift cost is a 4/5 or a 5/5. So
Shift 3.
if you ink, no, what I'm saying, the stats a 5/5 I think it is. So if you
Yeah, it's a
ink,
5/5.
yeah, so if you ink and shift onto it, that card is now a 7/5 for that turn if it challenges. So the ink is static, so I mean that will create some. I mean that
Yeah.
alone will take out a castle, so it's another way for blue steel to deal with locations. So
Next.
all right, we'll go
Yeah,
next.
move on.
Seemed like Danny went MIA a little bit. So the next card is a 2-drop uninkable 3/2 Calhoun. Resist 1 during your turn whenever this character banishes another character in a challenge. Gain 2 lower. So basically a mini Big Robin Hood. So what we think?
interesting card. I don't think it really has a place anywhere outside of Purple Steel. I know a lot of people are talking about Amber Steel. You have way too many uninkables in that deck already. I don't think you have another place for another 4 copies of an inkable card that don't really sing your songs. So I think just Purple Steel, from what I've seen
Yeah,
so
I agree. I agree. Purple
Um,
still all the way.
For me, obviously I think purple still it fits a good slot. That 3 strength is a problem for a lot of early games, and the ability for it to gain lore keeps the momentum. You know, like that Robin Hood effect on a 2-drop is powerful, and I think in an aggressive deck, like to me, I can also see this in an aggressive like Amber Steel deck, like a Steel Fossa deck, or anything that just wants to keep the tempo. um, it doesn't fit, most, I would say, like mid-range decks, but in an aggressive strategy, I do think Calhoun has a slot because you're able to, build your board. This thing's it's a hard out. A 3 strength character has to trade into it, or 2 swings of a 2 strength character. It's Steel Song.
Sure.
It's hard for Steel Songs to get rid of it,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
it's that resist one is a problem for many decks. Um, I like it in an aggressive strategy, not in a mid-range strategy. But yeah,
Yeah. It's an aggro card.
I like it all around.
Yeah.
I think this is actually one of the decent cards they've ever made in Lorcana because they made it uninkable. And this is the first time where I'm like, hey, you know what? This uninkable card should be uninkable. Because if this was inkable, that would be
Oh
insane.
my gosh.
Yeah.
That would be insane. So this is the first time I'm like, you know what? They made this card actually pretty good.
Yep.
Yeah. Just all I gotta say about this card is real quick is I do think it can see play in every deck. It's just
About
I
fitting
mean,
it.
yeah, it's just about where you want to cut your uninkable slots to fit it in. I think the card's
Yes. Yep.
great. I think this card can be a pseudo better Smee in every sense because Smee, if you have to swing with him, he's most of the time only getting one swing. I mean, as far as attacking, he's only getting one attack because then you're afraid of it dying if you quest with it or attack again. Like this card is also getting you that 2 lore that Smee's getting from questing, but it's also getting good trades all around. So I mean, like I said,
Yeah.
I do think this card can see play in every deck. It's just about like Danny said, like the fact that it's uninkable, it's a good call because now we have to use our brains and see where we have to cut other uninkable cards to make our early game better in a sense. So
And then with this card being uninkable, and then us going into our next card being uninkable, it makes everything like we're like Cesar just said, you have to start using your brain. How many uninkable am I gonna run? Which uninkables should I run? And it makes the meta start shifting a lot more better. And I'm liking it. I'm liking it. And it taking us to our next card, which being an uninkable 2-drop also. Twin Fire, right? Where you're dealing 2 damage to a chosen character, and you may choose and discard a card to deal 2 damage to another chosen character.
I'm
That's
happy
good.
about this card saying another chosen character, but then again, I'm not
Yes.
happy about it
Yes.
saying another chosen character. Like that can mess you up pretty bad. I mean, I think this card, I don't know if it was made for it, but it's made for that broken green steel opener where you shift Diablo, play a morph. Like
Yep.
this card alone will shut down that opener because you just take them both out.
Yeah.
So
This
I think
is
this is where it's gonna see the best. Like this is where the ceiling is for this card. Is like taking out or I mean even a Piglet Cinderella, like an Amber Steel. Like it's
Yep.
also gonna get like fat value right there. So I mean it's pretty simple card.
I love that fat value killing Diablo. Fuck those.
Diablo and that little space goo.
you
Yeah,
kill
it's pretty
Diablo
good.
and Morph
Yeah.
with this.
Yep. Yep. And not but that again, it's an uninkable, right? It's like what are you taking out to put this in? How much uninkable are you gonna run? And it's how many of these are you gonna run? Is it like 2 of? Is it 3 of? Do you want to see it often? Do you not want to see it often? Because uninkables do hurt sometimes.
No,
Yeah.
yeah. For me, like if I was running 4 Fire the Cannons before, because in some decks I was running 4 Fire the Cannons. I'm now running maybe like 2 Fire the Cannons and 2 Twin Fires, just to have that option.
Yeah,
Ooh,
worst
I like
is
it.
an
I like it.
uninkable
I like it.
baboom. Yeah,
Yep, it is. Yep.
which is pretty bad, but
Baboon's already all right, but yeah, I guess.
Which is pretty bad, but at worst, it's an uninkable baboon. So,
Yeah.
next one,
Yep. We go next.
Pluto. I think this card's cracked.
My dog,
The
Pluto.
guard dog.
James can talk about this one a little bit.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
we'll go real
no,
Yeah,
quick.
describe the card.
My
yeah, no.
so
This,
four
go ahead.
drop inkable 1/5 bodyguard that basically has the Lawrence effect. While this character has no damage, he gains 4+ attack, so a conditional 5/5. The reason why I think this card is cracked, and I was telling our boy and our teammate Dre, when he was on Amber Steel and he wanted to cry after playing it, that he needed to put Lawrence in the deck. Just being a red player or a blue red player, Lawrence to me was a hassle to deal with. So like the fact that Amber Steel was cutting that out for a while, I was ecstatic about it. So just giving him my view of playing against Lawrence, like the card's so hard to deal with. Now imagine if you're going aggro and you play Pluto to protect him now, like this card is gonna trade with Maui. It's gonna, not only that, you can value trade and now activate Rapunzel. Like I just see this as another cracked Rapunzel target too. Like this card is gonna like, I feel like this card's gonna activate Rapunzel a lot more. So
and then we did have James over here that made day 2 at Seattle with aggro. What was it, James? What was the aggro?
Amber Steel.
Oh snap! So how do you feel this card goes into your deck, or does it go even into your deck?
It's a 4 of now, for sure.
So
you can't.
Oh, so do you think you're going the 3-drop that Caesar was?
He's just on curve, ridiculous. Like you got to deal with my daisies turn 1, my piglets turn 2, Smeeze. If I dropped a Baloo or a Lawrence, so that's already half my lore. Like half the game's already won there. Now you have to deal with this Pluto. He's a 5/5, so you got to get over him. Now I'm gonna heal him with Rapunzel, so you got to make sure you take him out completely. So also, the difference between him and Lawrence is when Lawrence takes damage, he goes to 0. This Pluto goes to 1.
Yeah.
So
Big.
potentially he could still trade. He still has value in trading. Like, it's something I don't know.
Just and he has bodyguard.
Yeah, he comes in exerted with the bodyguard.
Yeah. So like,
no, he's solid. 100%. He's in there. I already picked up foils. So
there you go.
Dang. And one thing that I've noticed about the set, a lot of just uncommon cards are actually pretty good. It's not just the legendaries, it's not just the rares, it's not just the super rares.
The legendaries are ass this set, bro.
Yeah, this set is the one where you get the most value out of like the non-legendaries.
Yeah, and I think that's great, right?
Yeah,
that's how you know it's a good set, is when the uncommons and commons, the really cheap cards, the accessible cards, are the ones that are going to make the most impact. That's what makes the set really good.
Yes.
And I think that's what everyone's getting out of it.
Yeah. It's just awkward to have like a $15 foil rare right off the bat. Or like a $10 foil Diablo. Like, is that a common? Like, it's crazy.
That's just the early day hype, though. You just got to give it a couple days when gets out.
Well, they're kind of interesting because you know, it could be a common card, but there's so many cards in the set, and then just to pull it, and then you have people that don't want to trade it because they want to have it, and then you have multiple decks of the same cards, like your popsicles, like you're gonna play that blue steel, red blue. Yeah, so
but the fact I think it's an uncommon. It's like if you really want to foil your deck, okay, you go to extra length, but that it's an uncommon, and you should get this card theoretically out of a box for sure. 100%.
Oh yeah, the non-foil, that's like pennies. But if you're a real player, if you're a real player, if you're a real player, you're foiling out your deck. So
how does Cesar say? We broke sometimes.
We broke sometimes, bro.
We broke sometimes.
Yeah, I don't know about that one, James. I don't know.
All right,
but all right. So what? Yeah, next card. Another uninkable. So what is it?
Wreck-It Ralph, 6-drop, uninkable, 4/4. Whenever this character quests, you may banish chosen item or location to gain 2 lore. What we think, so Mr. Blue Steel guy?
Yep.
Yeah, I think this card is pretty good. This card is so good. It sucks that it's uninkable though. Yeah. So my issue with that, but I feel like because I'm also playing. Oh my gosh, all the tools. So I got Alice, Unequable. Then we got that one coming in. The what's it called? The name of this card we're talking about. Wreck-It Ralph.
Yeah, right.
So um, I think I'm gonna either go with the 3 Ariels or 2 Ariels and 1 Wreck-It Ralph. Um, Also with the addition of the Hawkins, I don't think I need Rise and Hideaway. Like you can actually put locations on check pretty easily. So maybe I don't instead of playing like that, I was playing 2 ways to allocations, like 1 Hideaway, 1 Rise, or 2 Hideaways. I could just play the 1 Wreck-It Ralph. Also, it can hit my own stuff, right? Banish, hit the Popsicle, Tamatoa quest, add Popsicle back. Don't even start on that's like legging like really push floor. But it's a good card. Worst comes to worst is like the 3 body. It's like a solid body. And you guys know don't really care if cards are uninkable. Because that's why I play Tipo and Quail, and I'm very big on that. So if there's probably someone that's gonna fit it into the blue steel, it's probably gonna be me. I don't know if a lot of people are, but if someone's gonna fit it in, it'll probably be me. But yeah, I don't know. Let's be real. Other than like blue steel, I don't. I don't know. You guys on a not blue steel perspective, what do you guys think? Not blue steel perspective.
Yeah,
Uh,
I tried. Okay, go ahead, Danny.
no, you're good.
Okay, I tried to make it work in some other non-blue steel decks. Like I
Okay.
was even what's good is it can remove locations on
Yeah.
quests. So it's gonna like and it's a good statted body 4/4. Um if you're playing against like purple red that has locations, you're playing
Pretty
against
good against purple red. Yeah.
right, it can be good. The only thing is it's on quest, it's not immediate. That's why like I almost was considering maybe just playing like there's other faster ways to deal with locations, right?
Yeah.
The advantage with this is it's if you don't have your like the built-in item or built-in location to kind of have that consistent gain 5, you know, it's not as good obviously. And as a like option to deal with locations or items, it's slow. So what is good about it is it's a stats and it can quest for 3. Does a 6-drop 4/4 quest for 3 fit any deck? Probably not, honestly.
Yeah.
And the fact it's unequal hurts it. So it's to me, yeah, it I try to make it work in other decks, but ultimately they're better cards.
I feel like we got so many blue steel exclusives in this.
Yeah, it's like I'm just looking at it as just a blue steel card, right? You slap this down. Next turn, you're gonna dime it. You're gonna swing. You're gonna shoot something. Gain 2 lore. You just gain what? 3, 6, 8 lore that one turn. It's insane.
Yeah, I have 10 if you have the 9
Yeah,
to tap. Yeah.
yeah, insane.
Yeah, this card's cracked, bro. I mean, it's gonna to fit it in. I mean, that's the biggest concern. But this card, I don't see how. Like once it's there, it's gonna impact a lot. So, I mean, is it viable in every color? No, but in blue steel, like I think it helps shorten up blue steel's a lot of weaknesses. But the bad thing is that blue steel's other weakness was high unequal count. So,
Yeah.
so, so it's kind of adding to its weakness and taking away from its other weakness. So, we'll see. I think this card. I mean, just if somehow blue steel can keep going down in the inkables, like I think we just slap it in there no matter what. So
Yeah. All right. What's after Wreck-It Ralph? We're looking
Danny's
at
favorite card.
I like this card. I green steel aggro from the jump since set 3, and I've been trying to play this card as much as I can, and I like it. It's You're dropping this on 5 instead of peace. You're dropping this on 5 instead of a whole bunch of other cards, and if they don't have an out to this because it has 3 life, um, dude, I'm swinging for 4 next turn. And I'm just looking at the old Speci deck back in the day where he was running the Robins at turn 6 that swings for it's 4 also. So
Yeah,
I've been
the green one.
yeah, I've been trying to see if this works with turn 5, Gantu. Turn 6, Robin. Swing for 4, swing for 4. Do something about it. And it feels good. It feels like it's working. And I hope someone can really make this card shine and see what it can do. I know it could go into blue steel also. Yeah.
Yeah, blue steel.
I don't.
I
That
know,
dime.
dude. Yeah, play this on 5. You better kill this arm on diamond and swing and gain
I'll play
8.
that on turn 4.
Right? Yeah.
Yeah.
Dude, yeah, like I'm gonna play this on do
Yeah.
something.
Another good blue steel card. I think I was one of the ones that wasn't
It
that
is.
high on this card, but I mean, no matter what, and I said that when I disagreed, like this card might not see play. I mean, this card demands an answer. That's for sure. So I mean, if you let
One
this,
thing, guys,
yeah,
this card is a captain.
and an alien.
Yeah.
You put that in a
And-
location where you can't challenge the location. If aliens in
Yep.
there,
Oh, yeah.
cracked.
So you could go 4-drop Gantu, then the Hercules bodyguard. That's one play. You go 4-drop Gantu, quest with the Alice, give Gantu ward.
Yeah.
So good.
Yeah, that's tough.
And it's
So
like,
good.
yeah. So it's cool.
I'm
Yeah.
swinging for 4 next turn.
Yeah,
Like
yep. Good card.
so
It's a
four
good card.
three
It's a-
4/3 quest for 4 gone to fits any deck. Like
Yeah.
it's not gonna take a genius to figure this one out.
They said they made that legendary. I think it was a legendary gone too. Set 1, and they were like, "Hey, we gotta fix this."
Yeah, we gotta make a good one. We screwed that guy over.
The revenge of Gantu, bro.
Yeah.
He's avenging his other self. Yeah.
Yeah.
On to the
All
next.
right.
Yeah,
What
he said
what are we in
put some
next?
respect on
Dang,
that
we
name.
made it all the way to Amber. All right, we got 2 more colors, guys. 2 more colors. Let's see.
Oh, still? Dang.
Lilo. All right.
Yeah, bro.
Lilo.
We gotta.
I
This
don't know.
is
James-
James.
Do the James.
Come on, James,
This is
go.
James' favorite card.
Yeah. No, this is auto 3 of or 4 of in the deck. If you're playing Amber, I know I'm playing 3 minimum.
What do we call this card?
Zombie.
Treeborn Lilo. So if you're a OG, best
Treeborn Lilo.
hardest TCG Yu-Gi-Oh. You know what Treeborn Frog is. So you can play this from the discard. You still have to pay the ink cost. You're playing it during the set phase. So big thing is ready, set, draw. So it's as sets come out, that's going to be more important. You need to get your phases correct because if you draw and then you try to play her after, you missed the trigger.
You missed it, yeah.
Yep.
So I advise anybody
Note
like
that.
that's trying to get better at the game, which I've been doing, like practicing
Announce it.
locals,
Yeah.
is
Ready, set,
saying
draw.
it out, ready, set, draw. So to make sure you don't miss your triggers. It's a threat for sure. I mean, it's a small body, but it keeps coming back. And if you're playing aggro and you run out of gas, it's always going to be there. They're going to have to use Hades or let it go to get it out. You know, if they wipe your board with whatever they do, if it's not under the sea, they're coming back next turn. So
Yep.
you can only challenge so much. And if you're challenging, you're not questing, which means you're not winning.
Yeah. So
I like it.
I got I guess 3 cards to mention that synergize well with this, right? There's the Future Prince 1-drop Simba, wheel. Any wheel deck I want this in. And then third, it's my spice is Rockstar Stitch. Rockstar Stitch might make a comeback
Yeah.
with this because you
I
can
think
bring
so
it
too.
back and
I
gain
think you
draw,
can-
gain
No,
lore.
you can't. You can't.
Yeah, because she
can't
enters
draw.
play exerted.
I thought so.
yeah,
I thought so
no,
too. You can't draw.
doesn't work.
Yeah, that would be
You don't
crap.
oh, you
No.
don't get the Rockstar
No, it's the
Stitch-
same thing as a
Stitch
No.
body.
effect?
It's the same thing as bodyguard. If they come exerted, like if you're
Her
something we can't
effect
speak of,
happens
Pixelborn.
before.
But if you played on Pixelborn and you played
That's
Rockstar,
Lilo, yeah.
yeah, if you played
It's
Rockstar,
not
you had
real.
to bring them
It
in.
comes exerted already, so Rockstar Stitch cannot exert
exert
it.
it. Yeah.
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 Ah.
Yeah, that
Yeah,
was the first thing.
okay.
I thought she was gonna bring back Rockstar.
Oh, that would
too,
be
but
so
yeah.
broken.
Yeah,
You're
it would
thinking
I
be
of
thought,
it.
yeah.
broken.
Yeah, Eddie over here cheating people, bro.
I'm learning on the fly.
You're cheating,
Yeah,
bro.
that's good.
thought-
No, it's good. It's
But
good.
yeah,
It's good.
but I think, but
You probably
she's
answered someone
solid.
else's questions too. That probably
Yeah,
thought.
Yeah.
So.
And that's great. So
Yeah.
yeah, if you play Rockstar and you this video comes out, you do not draw.
Yeah, do not draw.
Do not draw.
Yeah.
Do not let that.
This card,
I think
It's good.
she's solid.
yeah. This card's
She's
obviously
solid.
good, but I mean, it's just on the decks that aren't wiping their own board, like B prep. I mean, any non B prep deck. I mean, if this card is, I mean, if they have a board, this card's kind of useless because even though you're bringing it back, I mean, you are stopping a lore, but at that point, you're just stopping a unwinnable game. At that point, like you're slowing down an unwinnable game unless you have non-conditional lore like purple in the mix with it. But
Yeah.
I mean, even if you're bringing this back every turn, you're slowing them down by them having to kill it every turn. Like at some point,
Yep.
they're gonna be able to have a big enough board where they can just hit you with one quest and win the game. I mean, like
And
the bringing
yeah.
back is good, but I'd say it's more a B prep versus a B prep deck, not really like anything else.
All right. Makes blue actually have to maybe use their cards on this. Imagine.
Yeah.
I'm gonna
Well,
let it go.
it's good against discard as well because if they discard your hand, that's cool.
choose-
Oh, you
want
send
me
at
to
my
grade.
will 3 Lilos. That's crazy.
Yeah.
But I think
So
it does
next-
synergize well with our next card, though, right?
Yeah, which is
Oh
nice.
shoot, I lost it. There you go.
Yeah, it does synergize with this.
Simba.
Because if you had Lilo on
Simba's
the field,
cracked.
and then you had the Simba, that's a 5-drop, uninkable,
Pride Protector.
4/4, that does shift onto 3. So it does shift onto the Steel Simba. It does shift on the Amber Simba. And then at the end of your turn, if this character is exerted, you may ready your other characters.
I think it's a good
Yeah,
card.
I think it's good.
It's a really good card.
I think.
I don't think there's really much to say about it. That it is a good card.
Yeah,
Yeah.
just a good card.
just-
I mean, so.
Yeah, just a
Okay.
good Amber Legendary. That's what I think.
Yes.
Yeah.
I think
One
Not
thing,
much
one
to
thing,
say.
one thing I'll say about the card is it's criminal they didn't give it an enchanted.
True.
This is
One thing
I,
I gotta-
I agree. I agree.
Yeah, this is-
Needs
One
an
thing,
enchant.
one thing I
Yeah,
gotta say about the card
definitely.
is another good whole new world singer. I feel like this card can play in that aggro version that's seeing obviously, and then even in a singing version, like you being able to protect your singers with this card like is crazy. So I just
sing
think,
all,
huh?
yeah, like what you're saying, right? You sing all your songs.
Yeah,
with
dude, like you sing all your
low
songs
body
with all your
characters.
things. Yeah.
You shift this, sing will, all your low body characters stand.
They stand back up. So like next
Yep.
turn, all your singers are protected for, or you can sing again that turn. I mean, no, it's at the end of the turn. Never mind. But yeah, just protecting your singers, like it's crazy. I mean,
Yeah.
one way Amber still loses, or the original Amber still loses, Steel Songs, is they lose their singers. So
Yeah.
I mean, this protecting your singers is cracked. So, but yeah, pretty basic card.
Yeah,
It is
super
a
solid. It's
mandatory
really-
effect too.
yeah.
Mandatory
And-
effect. You have to
Yeah, it is
unexert
mandatory.
everything.
Yeah.
So I
And then
think
another card,
No, I
like-
think the only mandatory is 1. So if you unexert 1, you have to unexert all of them. But you can choose to not unexert. Like you get what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah,
it's one or
yeah.
no, it's one.
It's all or nothing.
Yeah,
Yeah.
all or nothing. Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly.
all or nothing. Yeah.
And then that takes us to another card that they came out with that's uninkable. But that's fine because these uninkable cards are actually pretty decent. And that they protect a lot of your stuff in Amber, right? We have Tiana. It's a 3-drop. It's a 1/4. A hero princess, another princess. Whenever a character of yours is challenged while this character is exerted, the challenging character gets -3 attack this turn unless their player pays 3 ink. Wait.
Yeah, 3. Yeah. All I gotta say is
3,
I don't know how green purple is dealing with this.
Crab Fox, baby.
You're gonna
like
pay
that.
3? You gotta pay 3, my guy.
Huh?
Oh,
No, you
yo,
play
Crab
crab. You
Fox,
play.
Crab
You
Fox.
play crab on 3. You play crab on 3. Trade something. Then you Fox bounce it. It trades. It has 4 power.
Yep.
You
This is-
just
No,
died to
it'll
Pluto
have
though.
3. It'll have 3. What do you mean?
It has
But
4.
you just died to
How would it
Pluto.
have
Fox?
4?
Fox
Your
has
Pluto's
4.
turn 4.
Hey, you Fox.
Oh, you're saying
you bounced the crab.
you're saying.
Oh yeah, Fox will
if
have 4.
Pluto's
Right,
out.
right.
Yeah. No. Yeah. Like Fox will get the -3, but the +3 from the challenge.
Yeah, but you still gotta pay the 3 too, no? Oh no, you don't.
No,
you
you
the
don't.
crab,
No.
because of the crab.
Yeah.
This is like one of the only
In
other,
green purple, when you're playing multiple crabs and multiple foxes, it does have an out. Also, you have Cloud Kicker, which just kind of
Yeah.
that deck too.
Yeah, just bounce. Yeah, pretty good. I like that, right? Because the
Oh, it's funny.
Cloud Kicker.
I think Cloud Kicker is really good in purple green right now.
Yeah.
Yes,
Cloud
I
Kicker,
think yes.
Cloud Kicker
I
is the
think
reason why
Kid
I think
Cloud-
green purple is so good right now.
Yep.
Yeah.
I like that.
Delays Diablo. That's why
It does.
That's why I don't get.
It
when
delays a
people
lot
are
of stuff.
saying
It
ban
delays
Diablo.
this, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. What are we going on to next?
Sugar
Moon
Craft.
Sapphire. Oh wait, what? Oh yeah,
Sugar
Sugar
Rush.
Rush. Speedway.
Sugar Rush Speedway. When you move a character here from a location, sorry, you guys gotta turn your head. When you move a location here from a location, you may banish this location to gain 3 lore and draw 3 cards. This card is insane when it works, dude. I was playing against someone online, Amber Ruby, and they just activated this card like 3 times by like turn 4. I was like, what the heck? I'm like,
It's a trap.
no, I do think it's a
Nah,
trap,
bro.
but when it goes off, it goes off. Like,
Yeah.
what do you do? What do you do about it? But we'll see.
I
mean,
love
it can see
I
play.
love this card. No, I in my the first deck I built was an Amber Ruby locations deck to test, and I tried making a bunch of other location synergy cards work with it, but this card proved that as long as you have the starting line and a finish line, that's all you need. Because you just keep your early game aggro cards, Daisy, Piglet, and then late game, mid range game, this just shows up. You do keep Jim Hawkins, the 5-drop with this synergizes great with it. I see this whenever, like you said, whenever it pops, Like gain 3, draw 3 is pretty broken, and it doesn't need a lot to like. some people want to build like a locations deck. I think this is just good enough on its own as long as you have the starting line.
Yeah.
The
That's why I like.
yeah.
Well,
It has
you
have
need
to
at
build a
minimum two
deck around
locations.
this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You need at
That's why you
minimum
have
two
to
Yeah,
build a
locations.
deck
exactly. You need
around this for it to work. And that's the only downfall. Like, man, I'm building my deck just around this one card so I could gain the 3 lore, gain the
3
3
draw.
cards,
Yeah.
and
I mean, it's a
yeah,
good
and
build
it's like
around, bro. 3 lore, 3 draw.
yeah,
That's crazy.
especially right because like what was it in Seattle with the deck that had what 20 locations?
Yeah.
Like
28.
how much 28?
28.
Dang, see, like it feels good around that, and no one sees it coming. And it's out of meta deck that I'm glad we're seeing these because it throws people off their game, and I love seeing these decks in the top 64, top 32, top 16 because it's just showing the diversity of how much these players are being able to throw into the game, and it's great.
I think Sugar Rush decks will be a thing.
I do think so too.
I like it. I
I
like
don't know
it.
how
I
good
think
they'll
it'll
be.
be early on.
Yeah,
I
I
think
don't
it'll
know
be
how.
early on, and then the people will
Yeah.
realize the counter for them, and then when it's a counter, it's gonna be a really bad
Yeah.
deck. But it's gonna be a really good early on.
I think it
I
could
think
be
this card's
like a
trash.
tier 2 deck.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I,
All
I
right.
think I
Next
think it's
card.
garbage, and it should never have gotten enchanted. They
That's
got to stop
crazy.
with the enchanted locations.
I agree with that too.
Oh,
All I pulled this
Yeah.
set was an enchanted location and enchanted action. I was so upset.
so what is it? Last
The
color,
most
not the
broken
best color. I
card
mean,
in the
best
set.
color.
Best color, best
Yeah.
card,
Most broken card in the
best
set.
card in the
Sell
set.
the Azurite Sea. This turn, you may
This was
put an additional card from your hand into your inkwell. Face down. Draw a card. For everyone that still does not know it, because other podcasts, other people have explained it, this works like Bell, does not work like Tipo or Quill. Yeah, it has to be an inkable
that's why
card.
I'm
You
like.
have to show it.
That's why I'm like, man. I honestly, that's me, bro. I was like, dude, is this like Quill? Like, I don't. It could be uninkable.
Yeah. So, I mean, the broken thing about this card is the fact that you can draw a card before you decide to ink your second card. Just the fact that it can be a cycle. You don't have to use the second ink effect. So it could be a two cost draw one. Is broken.
I do like that. I like that
And
they put the
blue,
May in
yeah,
there.
and blue red. You cast this on 2, you can play a popsicle on that same turn. Like, it's crazy. And blue steel, obviously you could do the same thing. You have double popsicle. I don't know, Hector, if you're doing this in blue steel, but what I'm doing is I'm prioritizing more 2 costs now because I think we have a lot of good 2 costs now with Calhoun, Smee, Jim. So the line I would like to see is like either Sail on 2 or Tipo on 2, and then turn 3. So the ideal line I would like to see is turn 2 Tipo, then turn 3 Sail, and then still ink, and then drop a 2-drop, a strong one like Calhoun or Smee. I think our 2-drops, we have a lot of strong 2-drops now, so I think prioritizing on that. I don't think we need to drop a 4-drop. Like, I think just our 2-drops are strong enough to like hold pressure in the game. So
It could
that's
be a
what I'm
gym
trying.
also. Right?
Yeah, that's what I'm trying right now. I don't know how good it's gonna be. I haven't tested it fully, but I think it could be a pretty good line.
I just like that it can go in a whole. It could go in blue steel. It can
Blue
go in
green, yeah, all
Aha
blue decks.
Blast. It could go in blue red,
Red,
and
blue.
it's just
Yep.
yeah, it's right. Like yeah, it's great. It can go in all those decks to create some type of ramp stability where you can draw a card and not have to ink, right? Because you might just be screwed with all the unequals.
Yeah.
So I think it's best in every blue deck except my blue, the steel variant. I play a lot of uninkables, so I have that like really tough struggle that me and Eddie were talking about it. That I had to completely like kind of change the way I build my deck around it. I don't know if I want to do that because you guys know how my theory and how I play blue steel and why I play blue steel, so it very contradicts it in of itself. I do like because I love this with Tipo. I would go Tipo, and it incentivized me to play more 2-drops. I'll go Tipo turn 2, turn 3 double 2-drop.
Yeah.
I don't even need to. I don't even need to like ramp or keep going to like other characters. I have like literally like
Boom,
3
boom.
2-drops on the board. So be able to like play a seal and then be able to drop Calhoun Smee.
Yeah.
After that,
Yep.
the next turn
Yep.
is pretty good. Also, it gives it you guys know the typical ink, play Quill, tap Quill, play Fire the Cannons, play
Yeah.
Popsicle. It gives you that ability on turn 2.
Yep.
Ink, play seal, draw a card, ink this, Popsicle, or Fire the Cannons.
Yep.
That's
Or
cool.
no, or no
So it also
swing.
really enough. has incentivized me to even like possibly like play the hook again, the Captain Hook, because there's
Yeah.
a lot where that like have that like extra like if I do that play and I can drop a Captain Hook. So I
Yep.
still developed, I ramped and I developed the character that synergizes with my SME.
Yep.
So it's actually that's kind of how I seen it. In my build, I'm not gonna go 4 because sadly of my unequals, I still have to respect it. But it's a really good card when even me that it contradicts itself, I still have to play it probably and still probably play
Yeah.
like 2 copies or so. So
Because
it's
it's
good.
that good. Yeah,
Yeah,
'cause it's
I would
that
say
good.
it's a good card when it's making red blue drop down to 16 uninkables. Like that is crazy. Like I'm telling you, red
Oh
blue
yeah, that
like
it
red
helped
blue,
Red Blue
Yeah,
the
yeah,
most. I will
red
say
blue
that it
decks
helped Red
are
Blue insane.
And
yeah,
again,
yeah.
this
Don't
is
need one jump anymore.
what a common
Mhm.
card.
yeah.
Like great, right? It's a
So
common card.
it's
You don't have
funny.
to break the bank. You're gonna get this card.
Yeah, it's funny that me and Hector ended up on the same thing. I haven't even talked to him about Blue Steel at all, but it's first thing I thought is, dude, where I'm smashing in more 2 drops, fire the cannon. Like you said, I could drop my
Or
popsicle
1 or 2
and
drops.
fire. Yeah, I could use this, drop my popsicle and fire the cannon the same turn on turn 3. Like that to me is like, dude, it's, this card's crazy. Like I don't know how to
Yeah,
say it.
yeah. It is good. But what's even better, and what I think the card that Hector hooked me onto, the card we're coming up with.
Yeah, I'll be back for this one. You guys could talk about this one.
Yeah.
This one.
Which
This
one?
one Hector hooked me onto so much. Just the value of it, right? It's a 5
Talking
drop.
about the Atlas, right? Or
No,
which one is
No,
it?
Baymax.
we're on Baymax right now. Baymax.
Oh,
Yeah,
Baymax
yeah.
is
The
good.
Baymax 5 inkable 2/6. When you play this character and whenever he quests, you may remove up to 2 damage from a chosen character of yours. Gain 1 lore for each 1 damage removed this way. And he's also a quester for 2. I've been trying to make blue steel work for me because I'm trying to, go against the grain
Yeah.
and see what I can work with. And Baymax has been performing pretty well, especially if you're running Shmi that's damaging himself. Usually we used to, I know Hector would heal Shmi with
Popsicle.
Popsicle. I'm going to wait for Baymax, especially since I'm ramping. I'm going to play Baymax on turn 4,
Yep.
heal my Shmi, gain 2 lore. Let's go.
Yeah, so many times where I actually use my popsicles for healing a lot. So this is actually really strong. And now I get to gain lore in the process. So now I have a healer too for like also this with the Cogsworth. Some people say it's contradicted with the Cogsworth because people aren't really putting damage in. I actually think it's the opposite. A lot of people I have Cogsworths, so they're little by little trying to ping down my Hyrums, my Tinkerbells, the Tamatoas, the Hades. A lot of in Blue Steel has a lot of shield.
Yep.
So
Yep.
Baymax is like another closer. So now being able to minimize on my aerials because now I have stuff like Gantu, now I have stuff like Baymax to continually keep putting pressure. Also, I know I keep telling people and they'll be like, you're gonna play that card? I think it's because they think how bad it is in Ruby, which I agree. But I think in any non-Ruby matchup, this card is absolutely insane. Like I'm
Yes.
dropping it down, I'm gaining 2 on the play, better go, broken go, and now every turn I'm gonna probably be gaining lore plus whatever else I'm doing. This card is so insane, not in a Ruby matchup. Like good
Yeah.
luck, steal dealing with a Cogsworth and a Baymax on board.
Yeah.
Like it's
Because, like how you're saying, I'm going to swing into something, maybe trade or value where
the Jing Hawkins that has
I'm,
the 4 shields, right?
yeah. Finish your guy, have damage left on my person, swing with Baymax for 2 lore, and then gain lore off this heal.
Good.
So good. So good. I think it's really great. And what even makes I think what makes it a lot better is the next card. This card. Insane, right?
Yeah, this card's cracked.
I love this card. I love it. I like what they did with it. I like that it's uninkable. I like that it's board. The stat lines are great. It's quest for 2, and the ability that it does, where it's gonna be whenever this character quests, another chosen character of yours gets +1 lore and gains ward until the start of your next turn. Hector, our blue steel player, what do you think?
And this, you guys can all agree. You guys have ever played anything? Everyone here can agree. If you guys have ever played anything with Ward, how broken Ward is. Ward is one of the most broken things in the game. Alice has Ward, and it gives something Ward. This has Loki, weirdly enough, has maybe possibly sometimes considered, like, if I'm trying to fit room to, like, consider like cutting out like some of the Ward characters in of itself, because now I can just give them with Alice.
Yep.
But there's really good broken cards that don't have Ward built in because they're really good in of itself. They need to be
Mufasa.
not have Ward. Gantu
Mufasa.
should not have Ward. Yeah, exactly. Like there's things that should not have Ward. Tamatoa should not have Ward. Alice being able
Mufasa.
to give this, yeah, like Mufasa. There's so many things that should not have Ward, and they don't have Ward. Well, they just messed up with this card because
Yeah.
now they also have Ward.
Yeah, this
What?
And then you
Hiram?
can't even out the Alice because Alice has
Ward.
Ward.
Yeah.
And
So
she
now
has
you
four
have to
life.
like swing it like we're gonna waste the whole big Sisu on my 1-drop Alice and another 2-drop, like on 2 characters that I have. Sure, like
She has
it's
4
it's
lives.
crazy.
She
You have
has
to think
4
about the
life.
card.
What are you
it's
what are you
so
gonna
good.
swing into her with? 4
Yeah, I
attack?
had to make room for this. This is the reason Calhoun didn't make the list too, because I had to fit this card in the deck.
The card also just freely enables you to play Hiram on 4 right after, and and it's safe.
Yes.
It doesn't
Yes.
die to Brawl. It doesn't die to or it doesn't get bounced by Cloud Kicker. All those cards that target removal Hiram, your Hiram's gonna get at least 4 cards.
Your
When you
Hiram
have
is
that card.
guaranteed to draw 4 every
Yeah.
time.
Yeah, this card's cracked. I mean, most people will see this as an aggro card. This card's cracked because it is so versatile. The fact that you can play these in control decks to protect your big threat for a turn to, I mean, there's a lot of times where, I mean, if Tamo quest 1, like, that's game. Your Mufasa, that quest 1's like everybody has always said, right? Mufasa's good, but his only problem is that he has to stick around. This guarantees that it sticks around for a turn, and that could lock up the game. Like, this card is cracked. I mean, like, it's uninkable for a reason, but it sucks that it's uninkable along with the Mufasa, because then, I mean, that's your restraint right there. That now you have to hold 2 uninkable cards. But like, the fact that this card could, like Hector said, could protect cards that have no business having ward is crazy. I mean, even this green blue, you protect Diablo, like, you make Diablo even worse to take out. Like, evasive 2/2 draws every time you draw with ward on it. Like this card is cracked.
I look at it just like a Prince John, right? It's Ward. You just play it, and it just sits out there. And I'm just gonna wait till I really need to use this card. And the great thing about this Alice, it doesn't die to swords.
Yeah, I think this card's really gonna
Mandatory.
shine where it protects those big threats. Like I said,
Yep.
like, people are gonna get annoyed of I mean, let's say blue red does it, or blue steel dropping Alice, and then the next turn it's like a Pete in a sense. Like, we drop Alice, and then I'm dropping Tomo next turn, and I'm questing with Alice to protect it with ward. Like, you're not gonna kill this Tomo. Like, you better have B prep now. Like, that's your only answer, B prep. I guess
Yep.
Tremaine, if Tremaine, if you can swing at this, kill it, and then play Tremaine. But it's just like protecting threats that should not have ward is insane. But
Yeah.
finally,
But
last
it's decent.
yeah, finally, last but not least,
Oswald.
our lucky rabbit. This card's
I'm not a
ass.
blue player, so I can't say anything. But I've been
I agree
seeing
with
crazy stuff.
Hard's ass.
Crazy stuff with this, but hey, it's
This card's good when it goes off, and it's bad when it doesn't. It has a very high ceiling, very low floor. I think
uninkable.
uninkable.
1 life.
1 life, yeah. I think the problem with this card, and I've been saying it since the moment it was released, I don't care if I could bring out a dime on turn 3, because most of the time I'm not gonna use that dime till turn 6 anyways. I think the biggest problem with this card is that there's no item really, or my bad. There is some items, and that's where I think this deck will work, or at least be sufficient. I don't think this card's ass. I think this card can see play. I think it will see play. I just don't think it's gonna be the best thing it does in those colors. I think the main reason this card is not gonna be good is because we have no items that impact. Once again, my bad. Not no items. We don't have many items that impact the board, or that affect the board state that much. So I think
It'll be
until we
cool,
ever
yeah.
get more Sword of Truths effects where we can banish something, especially like the deck I was putting it in was a blue-red item deck with Sword of Truths, the plank, like that guy that taught like that version. But at that point, dude, that deck is like 25 uninkables I almost had. 24, I couldn't get it lower than 24, and I'm like, dude, what the heck? Like,
Yeah. That's why it's a decent card. It's solid. but it's not.
We'll
the
get better
greatest.
over time for sure.
Yes,
100%.
yes, for sure. Yeah, because they're gonna come out with maybe like just like how they came out with the songs for Green. There's like this character can't quest. Maybe there's gonna be items where it's just you tap the item. This character can't quest. This character can't challenge. And I think that's what would make it a lot better. And I'll be able to stall out just a little bit more. I think
Even if they
Oswald's
make
great, but not just yet.
Yeah, even if they make items that say freaking 8 cost item, banish this item to banish a character, like that is gonna make this card good. Like even if it's that strong,
Yeah,
because you could bring it out for free. Like obviously
yeah,
those cards are only gonna be good with Oswald, but like until we get stuff like that, like it's not. I don't like it needs to impact the board somehow. If this item sticks around to 9 cost item, this card sticks around every turn. It affects 1 damage on every character, something like that. Like it needs to be impacting the board somehow. If there's items on board, exerted characters can't quest, something like that. Like it needs to be items that are slowing down the game state somehow.
yeah, for sure, for sure.
Before we say anything, I want to say Oswald is ass. Is complete just horrible. And in 3-4 sets from now, it'll be decent. And in 10 sets from now, it'll be good.
Yeah.
And that's my take on
Hater.
it.
That's
And I'm
hate.
just
That's
gonna
hate.
say
That's hate.
that was
That's
a
hate.
straight
Yeah,
hate, but it's
That's hate.
I'm just gonna do
That's
the
hate.
both too. And you
Let's
guys
just tell
can
how you
quote
really
me on
feel.
this.
yeah. Yeah.
But all
Talk
right,
to me 10
all
sets
right.
from now.
Yeah, you
So,
guys can quote me on
with all-
this set for sure. I don't think this card is gonna be tier 1, even tier 2. Like it's good. Like there's so much better
It's
things
a
to be
trap.
doing in the colors. Yeah, it's a trap.
Yeah,
We're not
of
doing
This
this.
course.
is a trap.
But with all the cards that we went through and everything that we've talked about today, the top decks of our expectations, what do you guys think that the top decks are going to be for sure? What type of variants do you think
We'll
it would
start
be?
from the bottom left with Hector.
Okay. You got what's purple green,
Ooh, go ahead.
purple green, blue red, green steel. It's an interesting one because it's going to be the most targeted from the get go, but it's still going to be the top. And then I think it's going to see a little bit fall drop off once they see like I think Green Steel's gonna wait to see how they attack them, and then they're gonna fix themselves, and then they're gonna go back to
Yeah.
being the top. So it's gonna be like Green Steel maybe like top, and then low, and then back to the top. So it's Green Steel, blue red, and purple green. I think are my 3 go tos, and then yeah, those are the 3 I would say I would pick from if you weren't a biased blue steel player.
Go ahead, Eddie.
For me, I think Amber Steel is still gonna be at the top, like near the top. You know, just classic Steel Song is still very strong with all the removal. A lot of things. I think Along Came Zeus is stronger than ever. So many good targets for it now. Sometimes you need Along Came Zeus now. For like Genie, Maui Shark, two two things you expect to see. I like Purple Steel a lot too. Genie is really good, and like Calhoun. There's a lot of good cards in purple that came out. Um, I think purple still is gonna move up the ladder, but I still expect some of the set 5 usual green steel, purple red. The burn movement is real. I do think purple red has really good burn strategy now. Um, and I think those would be my top 4. Yeah.
Nice.
Go ahead, Denny.
Of course, Green Steel player. I think Green Steel's going to still be up there. It's going to be a top contender. The one deck that I think is going to make its rounds that people might not see coming. I honestly think we're going back to Amber Ruby Mufasa.
Oh,
Let's see how that's going to run. I think it's going to be a sleeper. I think someone's going to come up with something that's going to really shake the meta. And I'm not going to be that person, but I'm waiting to see it because I've always wanted to see it, and we've always had our people in our group that like to run it, and it's always seems viable. It just needs that extra and I think because the Simba shift, because it's Tiana, I think it's getting that. So hopefully it comes into play.
Lilo.
Yeah, Lilo.
One drop Moana, the piglet. There's something there.
Yeah, there is something there. It's just we need to see it.
For me, I think all meta decks are gonna stay the same. I think we're gonna be the same meta basically: blue red, amber steel, purple red, and what's the other one? Green steel. I do think a majority of the decks are gonna look different. I do think the burn version of purple red is gonna become more prevalent. I think blue red is gonna be doing almost the same thing, but it is gonna look very different as well. So even though I think it's gonna be the same colors, I do think a lot of these decks are gonna look different. I think the amber steel route is gonna keep staying low to the ground, and I do think green steel, like Hector said, it might get pushed out for a little bit. But I think it's kind of like that deck is kind of like purple red now. Like we gotta see how we gotta attack the meta, and then that's when it's gonna come back strong. Um, Other than that, I do think that something else is gonna come out of this meta, something new. It's gonna a new deck type or something, whether it's blue green or like a pirate or like a pirate or blurple. Like I do think a new color combination is gonna come out. We just gotta let the deck builders do their thing and let someone break it. I do think we're gonna see a new color in either tier 1 or tier 1.5. That's just my call. I just don't know which one it is yet, but I do think we're gonna see something new.
Yep.
Go ahead, James.
And one card, right, that everyone's talking about.
No,
Everyone
James. We got
dislikes.
James. We got
Oh,
James.
hold on.
Oh, we got
I-
James.
I-
Oh, we got
Yeah, we got James and
my bad.
and Ethan.
Forgot about that guy.
Damn.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
So
Yeah.
quiet.
Yeah, you forgot me. You discard 2. I think Amber Still is gonna be up there. Obviously, that's why I'm running it. Green purple, I think. So the Europeans will be happy.
Hell yeah, they love
It'll
that.
be effective. I think obviously green steel. I think they're just gonna just do what they do, but people are gonna be tech for it, like Hector was saying. They'll reestablish later. But that'll be later, so we don't have to worry about it now. So green steel, amber steel, green purple. I think in a good pilot's hand, purple steel. Purple steel. I think if somebody's a good pilot with it, they're just gonna cook. Blue, I think everybody can play it. No, absolutely not. And I do agree with Danny that Mufasa gets more viable and viable as each set goes on. So it just takes the right deck builder to bring it out.
Ethan, you hear my man?
Yep. My list that I think are going to be good are Ruby Amethyst, but I don't think the standard version that we've seen for so long will be very good. It's just too slow.
Too fair.
And too fair. It is too fair. It loses to blue decks now even harder. Which is what its best matchup was to be. And then red blue is gonna be good. I don't play red blue, and the builds have changed, but I think it's still gonna be pretty similar, and it's gonna do good things. Amber steel. So yeah, it's like if amber steel is gonna be good, which it will, red blue will always be good because red blue eats amber steel. And then I think green purple. I've been enjoying that deck quite a bit.
Yeah,
And it's a fun tempo deck for sure. The new Genie makes the deck a lot of fun. And the new Genie opens up that Minnie Mouse, like that old Minnie Mouse meta. You like, do I quest? Do I not quest? Kind of thing like that. I hope that Amber Ruby is good. That's one of my favorite decks, Mufasa. And then for all the people that hope Green Steel's going to go away, don't worry, it won't, because that deck sucks, and it's the best deck in the fucking game right now. So it'll find a way to come back and ruin people's set champs. For a whole month when you go to set champs and that's all people play, it's going to be great. You guys will have a great time not having a board or hand. So yeah, look forward to Green Steel coming back with a vengeance always. And
You know
being the
what?
worst deck in the game.
That's peace. I'll take it.
Peace. Yeah, that's
Peace.
I
peace.
think Ethan is gonna dodge all the green steel, and he's just gonna go against a bunch of blue, green.
There you go.
Bend my will.
No matter what,
You
I
will not
always
escape it.
face most discard decks in the tournament.
You will
I
not
always get
escape
paired
it.
against them, and I hate that shit. It's the worst.
Alrighty.
So
I just want
that
to. This wasn't on the list, but other than that, I just want to say, NA or EU guys, who's gonna win?
NA.
Well, NA.
NA all the way.
Whoever plays more Diablo and Prince John.
Yeah.
NA, bro. NA's broken, man. Our lineup's crazy.
We got EU
it
players
should be
trading
good.
with NA players. They want to train with us. They want to get better.
It should be fun at least to watch.
I do
But
know the comment that I think I had heard on Lemoyne in one of the Lorcana podcasts said that he was like, he's like, I went to the NA Challenger and like I don't know why they were talking about NA so big. Like it seemed like a little bit
I
easier
heard
to
him say
me.
that. Yeah,
And I was
yeah.
like, that's crazy. All
I heard.
right, for
Yeah, he
sure,
said he
Did,
said
man.
it was
wait,
easy. He said it was easier to
What,
top. I mean,
what,
didn't he
what
I
get
can't
place is
speak.
near the top? Yeah.
what place
didn't
did
he
he
get?
come?
Wait, hold on. Didn't he get bounced in top 60? Unlucky, bro.
He
Top
did, but he
Unlucky.
he he said it himself. He said he misplayed. So
Yeah.
he lost a
That's
bird.
crazy. He
All
still
love
lost.
Moyne. All love,
He
but
got
it's
yeah,
valid.
all
But yeah,
all of yeah, but
if you're
I
yeah,
can't I can't
respect.
speak to that until I go play in EU. But I don't see how that can be 100%. I mean, but
yeah.
well, I mean, like I said, I can't speak to it. Other than that,
There's
So
good players in both sides. There's good players in both sides.
other than
right,
We
that,
just
so you
we
get
just have more.
go ahead and close this out, or actually, let's go around. If anyone wants to drop their socials or anything, go ahead, Hector.
Yeah, it reminds me of that someone with the socials. Okay, 24K Lorcana probably be in the description here. You guys can subscribe, hit like, and all this and that. We'll probably try to do more cookout stuff. So make sure you guys like and subscribe here. If this episode's too long, I hope you guys still enjoy it
Yeah.
because at the end of the day, something's really long. If it's good value, I'll still listen to it. I'll listen to half on my drive here and that, so you can watch it in pieces. I'm sure it's still going to be a great view. Also, this is my one of my sponsors, Top Choice Gaming. If you guys look in 24K Lorcana, there'll be more stuff like that. I know I have some teammates here from the Cookout that are in there. You guys can look into all that stuff. But yeah, awesome for the support, guys. Thank you.
Go ahead, Eddie. You got any things you want to link?
I mean, I have an IG, Suddenchiller. Just started that, trying to post all my Lorcana content on there. No, yeah, just thank you for everyone that made it through this long first episode.
We'll work on it. We'll
I
work on it.
We're
yeah.
working on it. Still work in progress. It's our first time we all can get together and talk like this. I think there's definitely a lot of value, to just get all these different, input, and it's been fun just talking. It's always a good hang with you guys, and definitely appreciate everyone, who stuck it out to the end, and definitely hope you tune in for the next ones because that's good. We're gonna keep it coming.
Danny, you got anything you want to leak?
You guys already know Danny O. Let's go. I just want to appreciate everyone that has stuck out through this whole thing with us. We appreciate you guys. We just want to keep it going for this community, right? Lorcana is a great community. We're active players in the community. We're going to DLCs. We're going to set champs. We're going to just case tournaments, and we're those players that are in those tournaments. So we are having that hand motion in what's going on, and we're just not here talking about these cards that we just see on the internet. We're actually physically playing in these tournaments. So I think a lot of us bring a lot of value to the community. And if you ever see us out there, just say what's up. We're normal people. We're here to chat with you and talk about Lorcana.
Yeah, for me, same thing, guys. Thank you. Thank you for anyone that was right there cheering me on in Seattle. I mean, that to me was a life changing experience. It feels great. Bunch of random people telling me congrats. I mean, it's crazy, man. This community is so nice. Other than that, socials, just X right now so far. So at lepapi_Zetnus. If you guys want to hit a follow, all these socials that everyone's naming, we'll link them down in the description as well. So go ahead, James.
Yeah, like everybody said, the community is great. I took a long break from Yu-Gi-Oh. I checked out the game. It looked like fun. Hopped right into tournaments. I think that's the best way. Just jump in and swim. If you lose, you learn. Um, Shout outs. I have my Instagram. It's a collectible page. It's that collectible guy. The link will be down there. I collect all kinds of stuff. So if you're into any nerd stuff, it'll be there. And any questions you have, I can answer about them. And shout out to one of my local stores, Drewby's Collectibles. It's in Corona, California. Great guy. Um, Good store. Good store. A lot of value. One more shout out. The IE Enchanted. Judge Phil.
Phil, my
Um,
boy Phil.
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
definitely.
So
I enchanted.
if you're in SoCal, Phil, I was there when he built that from the ground up. When I first met him, he's like, "Hey, what's up?" He's like, "Scan this QR code," and I was like, "Oh, cool."
Yeah.
And that was back when it was like 20 people or something in there. Now it's hundreds of people. So,
Sign your life away.
well, yeah, yeah. Well, no, one of the best judges in Lorcana. So when
No,
they
Yeah.
eventually,
real quick, shout out to
Shout
Phil.
out Phil.
Dude's a blessing to the community right here in
Yeah.
IE. I mean, he's brought us all together, and I mean, honestly, we're grateful to have someone like him in our
I think we'll
community.
actually put a link in the
Discord, yeah.
We'll do that.
link for the Discord, for the IE Discord. So in case you guys ever need any type of information on what tournaments
guys
are
come
going on
visit
within the
IE,
IE,
yeah.
even LA, yeah. He
We're all
even has
SoCal
LA
based,
stuff.
guys. We're
Yeah, all
SoCal.
SoCal.
Yeah, we're
Yeah.
all
From the
SoCal IE.
From the Bay to San Diego, man.
Yep.
All right.
You got anything,
go ahead,
Ethan?
Yeah, shout out you guys. You guys have been definitely a cool group and a lot of good testing between all 7 of us. We are missing one here today, but he's here. It's a fun time. I think one of my highlights was the Vegas trip where we all stayed together and just tested and played in the big event. That was really fun. Shout out to my sponsor, Top Deck Keep, and all my teammates that play on that team. Empty Apartment, a few people that don't have socials, but Matt Akimoto, all those players. Yeah, shout out to Frank and stuff like that. But yeah, look forward to doing more of these. And yeah, sorry it's so long, but we're gonna get better at it.
Yeah, we will. We'll get tighter. We'll get tighter on it. Shoot us out, Danny. Whatever you want to close out with.
That is the first episode of the Cookout. We hope you guys liked it. It was long, but we are gonna get better. We just ask that you comment, let us know what you guys want to see, what you guys think we can improve on, what you guys liked, and then at the end of it, just like, share, and subscribe. Out.
Peace.
Peace out, guys.